Always keep your opponent off balance. Uncertainty makes one susceptible to suggestions that appear to restore order, and this hope causes carelessness. Use every tool at your disposal to attain your goals. Everything from all out terror and blackmail to a carefully dosed use of certain keywords. Even a virtually undetectable mannerism or the way you dress can be highly effective. Offend your enemy when it's safe to do so. Causing changes in the distribution of power is a game. And, as is the case with every game, the goal is to increase pleasure, your own. Control of the distribution of pleasure and displeasure, then, is the ultimate power. Siradar Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. Welcome back to Dune Saga, everyone. This is Season 3 of our Dune campaign here on the Stolen Fires channel. I'm Eric at Mudon Recluse, is everybody hearing me okay?
I say so.
Okay, just checking. Sorry, I thought I lost everybody. Okay, and this is the return to our multi-arc adventure series, which continues tonight with our 5th storyline, Leviathan. As a content warning, this program features adult situations and language. It may not be suitable for all ages, so listener discretion is advised. A very warm welcome and salutation to new and old viewers alike to the Stolen Fires channel here on Twitch, where there's always an awesome Let's Play or RPG live play to look forward to. Special music shout-outs go to Pixabay, Infraction, aka Kevin McLeod for Midnight Tale, Repulsive Sound, Coag Music, Tabletop Audio, and Bleer Moon. You can find more on ambient sounds and tunes over at inaudio.org, secretpress.bandcamp.com, music.youtube.com, pixabay.com/music, and SoundCloud. Many thanks to Modifius Entertainment for making awesome games for us to play. I want to thank Roll20 for the use of their virtual tabletop platform, perfect for hosting games like DUNE Adventures in the Imperium. And as always, we want to give big thanks to our fans and viewers for tuning in. Our house entourage is here and ready to engage in the deadliest of intrigues. Agents of the Imperium, please remind our audience who you are, where they can find you online, and who you will be playing this evening. Beginning with Aaron.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Big Cthulhu in some fashion. My pronouns are anything except he, him. Tonight, I will be playing Eloise Cheshire and also Amira and maybe some other folks.
Excellent. Devin.
Hello, one and all. I'm Devin. You can find me online at Sort of Sullied, and tonight I am playing not Norma, Kanku-sen, as well as Purdy and Stilgar and some other Fremen.
Very good. Leo.
Hello, my name is Leo. You can find me at Leo of the Black here on Twitch, and today I will be playing Archibald, the very smart general, and Duncan, and a Fremen, and my Varangian guard.
Excellent. And Ambrose.
Hey everybody, it's me. You can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling and on Etsy at Thornkind. My pronouns are any, and you can find me tonight playing Zoshir Tamer and company, whose pronouns are they or he, and we'll see if we survive.
Last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, I'm Rachel. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet. I play Lady Daphne, but tonight I get to be Zendaya, Chani, and some of the Idwali.
Very good. Okay. Let's begin with a short recap from last week, if you don't mind, Aaron.
Absolutely. It's been a few days since Alicia's attack. Time spent recovering. Marshal Reed focuses on increasing security in the city, uncovering the strange ancient weapons used. The snipers, he realizes, were a diversion for Alicia to get closer to her true targets, Varys and perhaps Daphne. After sending a letter, Archibald visits Daphne in the medical wing. He's here to confess. He's the one responsible for cloning and releasing Alicia. Daphne's confused, asking why. Well, Alicia was a skilled assassin, suited to take out the last Nofkardis. He didn't tell Daphne, so she'd have plausible deniability. Daphne's curious how he could afford such an expensive maneuver. He admits the next part. He's in debt to the Twi'lek. Daphne's unhappy to hear that, but Archibald pivots to his next point. He's willing to abdicate in favor of Eloise and pursuing his own goals on Tupile. And there's a place for Varys in his army. a way to keep him safe. Daphne turns that down, confident she can keep her betrothed safe in her own way. Speaking of Varys, he knocks on Eloise's door. She comments derogatorily on his intelligence before letting him in. He's here to apologize for both his own sins and his house's. He speaks of the attack on Jabberwock, wondering why Cheshire Holdings seemed untouched. Then he tells the story of Federico, a stolen sister, a grieving mother conditioning her 2 sons to destroy the Cheshires and ruin their family in revenge. Pain echoing through the generations. Understanding comes quickly to Eloise. She tells her long-lost brother he has 5 seconds to leave before Amir kills him. He's disappointed, but leaves. After smashing up her quarters and discussing this revelation with Amira, Eloise says she needs to know the truth. Meanwhile, Conquet carefully searches the palace for any traps Alicia left behind. The building is clean, but empty. Too empty. Speaking to Pardo, the marshal says someone froze their accounts with the guild. He doesn't know who. Those with motive and means are many. Conquet and Eloise convene in Daphne's room. Conquet brings up the note, but Daphne's already spoken to Archibald. Eloise's question is more pressing. She asks Daphne to use her new genetic memories to find out who Eloise's mother is. The Duchess Sayadina agrees and goes into a trance. But on waking, she's distraught. She speaks of Federico being seduced by a Bene Gesserit, a plan to form an alliance. But something went wrong, and Federico spurned his lover, then stole their daughter. Eloise's mother was Yesenia Arcaris. That isn't the truth distressing Daphne, however. It's how she learned it, through Federico's eyes. Both she and Norma know what that means. Norma demands Daphne try again. When Daphne does so, she sees visions of bloody Cheshire banners and thinking machines beneath Arcane moons. It's bewildering, overwhelming, but one thing is certain. Daphne can access both her maternal and paternal genetic memories. She awakens with an awestruck, "Yes, I am." Eloise spits out that her whole life is a lie, and she plans to accept Archibald's offer. Norma hands over Yeva's antidote before she leaves. In privacy, Daphne and Norma discuss this new change. Daphne's a Kwisatz Haderach, a truth which will earn them any number of enemies. After Norma leaves, Daphne realizes Lisa came here to say goodbye in her own twisted way. She sheds a few private tears for her sister, who used to be. With her new visions, she understands the mental chaos Massam and Kyra live with, why Massam chose to run away. Later, Daphne seeks out Varys about what he told Eloise. It all makes sense now, why the Off-Cardist hate ran so deep and why they chose their tactics. When Daphne asks, he also admits his mother taught him Prana Bindu. He doesn't know the deeper Bene Gesserit lore, just a vague understanding of a long-term genetic plan. Daphne explains their goals in greater detail, and that she may be the culmination of them. Oh, and there's a spice raid coming up. Meanwhile, Pardo has been seeing things over the last few weeks. Someone haunts him as everyday memories of his mother appear sharper, realer. One day she'll be fully real, and Pardo does not know what happens then. He composes a goodbye letter, saying he always did his best for the house, and he cared for Mock Turtle. The letter goes in his desk. If the worst happens, they'll find out. Of more interest is the Ixian probe retrieved from Alicia. He could use this to restore memories, or take them away. Perhaps he could... No, the meeting is starting. Switch to the Night Sands of Fremen traveling by Sandworm to the Imperial Basin. Zoshir leads them, excitement in the air. Now to finalize their plans. Duncan Idaho suggests a distraction, but Zoshir realizes the Harkonnen would not expect a frontal assault, and he knows the secret entrance, the aperture with room for a single ornithopter. Duncan's eager to fly, but Zoshir has him with the stealth team. Zoshir himself will lead the frontal assault. Stilgar pulls Zoshir aside afterwards, asking if he's certain. He does not want the Mahdi lost fighting Harkonnen. Zoshir trusts in Shai Hulud, then brings up the Adwali and his Tau vision. Well, neither the Adwali nor the Harkonnen fight with honor, so pit them against each other. Stilgar has those surviving captains brought out, Zoshir offers them water on bended knee. The Idwali are surprised, some suspicious, but they accept, wondering if it's their final drink. Zoshir studies them, wondering what makes a Dwali different from Fremen, and he realizes nothing, just history. The Fremen and Dwali rivalry is no different than the bloody outframe politics. He says the water is a peace offering, which surprises and scandalizes in turn. But when Zoshir cuts the Idwali bonds with his own crysknife, the outcasts pledge their loyalty to him. Back at the palace, Amira stumbles and falls, sick. No, not sick. Residual poison. It's the guild. Perhaps Aldrich. And she's gone too long between antidotes. Kanki sees two options: to try the antidote she gave Eloise, or ask Daphne to access her ancestral memories. Daphne prefers the first option, unwilling to help Kyra's killer. But Amira can't return to the guild after not killing any Cheshires. So, Daphne agrees, summoning a memory of a log of poisons and antidotes from Ikaz. As if automatic writing, she scribbles out a formula. Pardo has never seen anything like this, especially from Daphne, and files the memory carefully away. Conqui also memorized the formula, but Amira insists on leaving to speak with the guild. Well, time for the meeting to begin, and quickly. Daphne announces an end to any conley or rivalry with House of Cardis. Cheshire has achieved total victory, except Eloise accepts the rulership of House Librius, then dissolves it and reforms House of Cardis as a matriarchy. This distresses Varys, but Eloise says she's claiming a long-denied birthright. He's still upset though, and Daphne suggests a third option, a wholly new name representing both birthrights. Eloise will consider this suggestion. Daphne offers Pardo a sincere apology for threatening him. She let grief run away with her tongue and promises him better from her going forward. She also has good news: 2 betrothals and 2 children on the horizon, though she's rethinking the name Federico. Discussion shifts to the razzia when Varys asks how much spice might be found. Pardo calculates 22,176,000,000 Solaris, with 2% variance. Daphne makes sure everyone knows not to get greedy. Equal shares with the Fremen. With that, the meeting concludes. But Eloise lingers with Archibald, wanting to know what he knows of her history. Archibald tells Federico's story, seduced into a political marriage with the Bene Gesserit, then feeling coerced and backing away. But by then, he already had a daughter, and so he asked Archibald to steal her back. Eloise then agrees to Archibald's terms. She'll speak to Varys and his rogue navigator. She'll get Archibald to 2-pile, and then she'll burn it all down. The guild, the Bene Gesserit, all of it. Archibald gives her the names of some friendly houses to contact. Conqui visits Pardo Reed, who quickly hides his probe before she invites herself in, and becomes Norma. She regrets what they did together, and due to what Daphne said, she's made him something, a permanent antidote. When Conqui leaves, Pardo holds the vial. He has an Ixian probe. His memories are coming back, and he'd be free of Schrodinger, of taking care of another living creature to survive. He sets the vial down and weeps into his hands. For the first time since he was a boy, he does not know what to do. At the spaceport, Amira confronts a nameless Helm's second stage navigator. He's quite firm. Daphne Cheshire must die before the Harkonnen leave Arrakis, where she and Amira will spend the rest of their lives in a pain amplifier. He gives her a vial, her weekly stipend. Amira leaves. Alone together, Amira explains the situation to Eloise. Eloise knows of the cure, but the guild will still be an issue. Well, Eloise just inherited the Librius atomics, and so to hell with all of them.
Thank you for reading that, Aaron, and thank you as always, Rachel, for taking the excellent notes. Now we may continue with Leviathan. All right. So, there is a great deal of business at hand. It's been about a week since everything that occurred at the palace with the assault that Alicia led, there's been a lot of just a flurry of activity. Your bank accounts have frozen up, and things are inexorably moving towards this assault that is going to take place at the Research Botanical Garden station. Excuse me, at Observation Mount. And there's a lot of tension in the palace, and you all have different tasks that you're trying to tackle all at once. It seems like you're trying to put out many fires at once without being successful in putting out any in some cases. So after the last house meeting, you decided that now would be the time for House Cheshire to come together as one cohesive unit. It seems that everything that had initially driven everyone apart, Kyra's death, had seemingly brought you all back together again. And now, with a singular purpose in mind, that of completing this raid and attaining the tremendous amount of spice located inside, you convene once more to try to make plans within plans. So we open at the Arakeen Palace. You'll each get a turn to sort of make a move, or make a plan of sorts before the fireworks begin officially. So whichever one of you would like to go first, in terms of like, hey, I have stuff I want to do before shit pops off. Go ahead and do so now, because one of the things that you all are aware of is that Raban has officially gone on the hunt, and the time has come now that the previous captain had failed in his attempt to try to destroy the Leviathan. Now it seems that the senior nephew of the Baron Harkonnen is taking it upon himself to set things right his way. His way being more than likely with the use of atomics. So which one of you would like to go first in terms of making your moves felt in the in and around the palace?
So is the actual Baron on Arrakis right now?
You don't know that.
Ooh. You just said the Baron is hunting the worm.
My apologies. What I meant to say was the governor, which is technically
okay, which is Raban. Okay.
Yeah.
But got my ears perked, Eric.
Daphne feels like she would just be a liability on the raid, and sort of has to like do FaceTime on the worm hunt. So she makes plans to go do that. She will, unless he really doesn't want to go, bring Varys with her. And I imagine like that they're just like super disgustingly cute with each other.
Yes. Varys is nervous for the same reasons that you were. I mean, he's obviously not worried about himself, but he's more worried about you than anything else. For the same reason that you brought up before, where it's like, hey, we can't be seen together, with the Harkonnens going after everybody. Like,
okay,
you
we
need
couldn't
to
be seen
back
together
off.
because Daphne thought House of Cardis was picking off everyone close to her.
Correct.
That doesn't really matter anymore.
Correct. So yeah, you can bring him along if you want to.
Yeah, like it is probably pretty clear to the nobles this is who Daphne has chosen.
Okay.
And she is also sending a message to Zoshir. Her family cannot be trusted, so make sure that the Fremen get to the spice first.
Rude. Deeply rude.
What makes you think the Fremen can be trusted?
Because the Fremen believe in honor.
F honor. I just like
fair point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also follow up on the thing that we sent to the Emperor. Like, can we borrow some Sardaukar, please?
Oh, certainly. Well, you sent that missive like weeks ago, but you haven't received the response from the Emperor with regards to. Well, actually, no. Yeah, it's been about a week. Because that was the last thing that happened with Nikolai. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take this to the Landsrad, the draft that he enacted, that you co-signed and adjusted. He's gonna take that to the Landsrad to see if they can petition some assistance on the worm hunt. In that time, he comes back empty-handed. He just sends a dismissive message to the palace, like basically saying like he took it to the Landsrad, and the Landsrad was like, no. there are no Sardaukar on Arrakis. There will not be any Sardaukar on Arrakis. Go back home. This is a Harkonnen problem. They essentially said.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to go to the Lawnsword. I was supposed to go to the Emperor.
Well, the Emperor does preside over the Landsraad, so
Oh, okay.
in the so in the event that they would petition the Sardaukar, it would go to him, and then he might like appear in the Landsraad to officially give his thing, or he might just send a page saying "fuck you, get out of here,"
Okay.
depending on his mood.
I do. So in regards to that, you said there's no Sardaukar on Arrakis. Do I know that that's accurate, or do I? Because of
This is the Emperor talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you make those arrangements with Varys, and Varys is very on edge after the assault. So he opens the doors for you, not just to be gallant, but to be observant of everyone who's coming and going inside the palace. There's a mob that's growing outside the palace walls currently because your accounts have been frozen. So no one's getting paid, and there's a lot of like dissent and murmuring among the different ranks within the military. So things are getting tense to say the least. Is there something that you do to address this issue before you head out on Raban's worm hunt?
Yeah, so Daphne will try and give like a very calming speech that, this is Arrakis. We knew it was going to be difficult, but the thing about our house is we are always here for each other, and we will get through all of this together.
Roll communication.
Okay.
Difficulty 2.
Alright.
Hasn't been that long that they've been without money, but it's going to get more and more difficult over time.
Alright, I'm gonna use duty.
Alright. Seems fair. 2 successes. You manage to pacify the people. You get out there and you speak, and Varys is just sort of silently at your side, hovering nearby, and you give this impassioned speech about like you're part of our family and we value family here. So this is what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to get through this together as a family. You give this very profound speech, and it managed to pacify a lot of people and turn some people a little bit like people who were like red hot before have been toned down some, and people who are already like curious about what was going on or see you in a more favorable light. You can tell. So that manages to pacify the crowd for right now, and it makes it easier for the security forces that are still employed to move them back and disperse the crowd as such.
Yeah,
but yeah.
the last thing is get Pardo on like, Pardo, we need a load. We need a load real bad.
I've been summoned to Carthage to speak to the Harkonnens. Apparently some of the guards that accompanied Alicia as part of their assault have been captured when they fled Arakeen to Carthage. The Harkonnens picked them up, and well, they want us to arrange for them to be tried and booked, as it were. So I could potentially go to the Harkonnens and ask for a loan for the meantime until we can manage to get our affairs in order.
Preferred not to be in debt to the Harkonnen. If there's anyone else you can reach out to.
I can always ask the guild, but that seems to be a bit tenuous of an organization to be asking money from at the moment.
I suspect it's the guild who froze our accounts.
It's a very high likely possibility that it was. It's like, did you want me to speak to anyone else other than eventually the Harkonnens? Ask for aid?
If you're going to be traveling, swing by Caladan. We've got warm relations with the Atreides.
Well, I shall begin in Carthage first, and then I shall work my way from there. And with that, he takes his leave. Okay. So with that, you know that Raban works out of operates out of Carthage itself, so he will be leaving at some point to reconnoiter, probably with all the different forces that he has around the southern hemisphere of the planet. Did you want to ride along with him as part of like his entourage, or did you want to meet him there?
Oh god. Who else is in his entourage?
All the other houses. So Nikolai will be present. Whichever of the retainers are still alive will be present.
Yeah. We'll go with the entourage.
Okay. So you and Pardo are heading to Carthage, it sounds like. Okay. Make those arrangements. Varys accompanies you as well. Aaron, what did you want to do?
Oh, I think Eloise, since Daphne's going to Carthax, at least someone still of the house, because we haven't made the formal announcement about anything going on behind the scenes yet.
Sure.
Someone of the house should probably remain here. So, any palace day-to-day operations she'll kind of oversee in Daphne's absence.
Gotcha. Yeah, basically everything I already spoke about with like the wages being frozen and the accounts at the guild bank and so on and so forth. You know, typically the only time that the guild does this is that if there's any sort of like fraud inherent in the account.
Could I reach out to one of my contacts to find out if it is the case that it's the guild that made this happen?
You could, absolutely.
Okay, I would like to do that then.
All right, go ahead. Give me a. This would probably be communication for you. Difficulty 2, we'll say.
Nice. We'll call this duty, I think.
Sure.
I don't think deceit applies. I'm actually, for once in a while, working above board here.
Ooh, one success only.
So I do have a statement next to my duty. I know my responsibilities. Can I go ahead and drop a determination for this?
Oh, you could, yes.
All right, I will do so.
So that'll bump you up to 3, which means you get 1 momentum.
Maybe we can use the momentum.
You immediately use it. Okay.
No, I was saying we can use it later. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you reach out to your contacts and you're like, is this a guild related internal matter? You kind of phrase it in a particular way and on the community net, and they're like, they're trying to be sly about it and using double speak, but yeah, eventually they let up that the only reason that the guild would do this is if someone claiming to be someone other than the actual person who is in contact with the purser. The way this typically works, we're going to say, is that you have a standing arrangement with the guild to be able to draw funds at any planet with a balance to be settled with funds deposited with the representative on whatever planet. So in this particular case, they have a purser on the Highliner, and then they reach out to the local branch and they make things happen. So in this particular case, it's like, yeah, it seems like the problem started on the planet side, that the local branch saw something fishy, so they alerted the purser. The purser came back to Arrakis, where the main account is held, and they notified the local branch. And your previous supervisor put in the request to freeze the account.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
This is Edric, right?
No, that was
was
the navigator.
No. Yeah,
Bitchy
not
lady.
The desk
Yes.
jockey.
Yeah, the one that was
right.
bitching her out like crazy and fired her. That lady.
Correct.
Okay, I was thinking I was gonna do something about it right now. I'm gonna file that away for later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do something
gonna
about
get
that
this.
later.
I'm gonna get this lady. Okay. All right, fair enough. Conqui.
Conky is going to first swing by the siege to have a quick chat with Zoshir.
Oh, splendid. Okay. The let's see. They're having you arrive, we'll say, just as they're going to begin their first meal of the day, which is actually at night. So they get up at night, and that's kind of like breakfast time. So they're having like the leftovers of like a beef stew, and it's served on a piece of bread that also acts as a plate. So like you eat all of it. And that's what you arrive to at the siege as Zushir and the rest of the Fremen are like in force, like ready to begin their reconnaissance prior to the assault. So everybody's a little bit on edge, but they recognize the ornithopter. They recognize you exiting the ornithopter, and they just kind of let you through. They obviously stop you, and they go in to speak to Zushir. It's like, hey, the Duchess's handmaiden is here to see you.
Allow her in.
When the curtain, and you walk.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Kind of look at you and like, sure, and walk away.
I put on Norma face the moment I get in because Zoshir has seen who I really am.
Yeah.
Zoshir, I have a formal request. As you
What
know,
would you ask?
I decided to follow the mantle of Kyra. And in such, I should put away tokens of my past and get symbols of the new. And I pull out my I pull out my Gom Jabbar and set it down. Say, I would like something more appropriate of someone following the Fremen's way.
You mean the blade from Shai Hulud?
Yes, a Chris knife.
Out of character. Normally for an outsider, and this is to anyone who knows the lore better than I, just to say most of you, is there a special way that a Chris knife would be earned by an outframe, or gifted for anything specific?
It wouldn't be given to anyone outside of the tribe, so you would have to be part of the Fremen to be able to be given one. And when it is given to you, it's sort of like bonded to you. Very people know this, but like it kind of like joins with like your electrical field. So if it ever is taken away from you for an extended period of time, unless it's very specifically treated with like a very specific chemical, it will disintegrate. And for that reason, the Harkonnens have placed a very expensive bounty on Fremen Chris knives. If you're able to get your hands on one, they're worth a cool million Solaris.
Damn.
Because that means there's one disarmed Fremen running around.
Boy. You do realize that you would need to be a part of one of our Fremen tribes.
I believe that is already occurring. For my family is joining yours, is it not?
In a way, but not everyone of House Cheshire would be considered Fremen.
Would it not be more beneficial to your tribe to have more than one Sayadina?
It would. What would you be willing to commit to?
I have already stated, I am going to commit to Kyra's vision. The vision which you, too, have inherited.
He'll just kind of run his fingers through his hair and just sigh heavily. Let me speak with the siege. See what they have to say. I,
Very well.
as Naib,
Although you have taken the mantle of more than just Naib, haven't you?
I have.
Very well. Whatever your tribe decides, I shall abide.
Thank
But
you.
as I said, I wish to discard the tokens of the past.
Well, come with me. And Zoshir is going to take Norm Key or Kanma and introduce her to the various people of the siege and like, look, this is someone who's on our side. She's a Sayadina. She is going her essentially, I don't know, would you consider Lady Daphne your goddaughter? um is going to, be part of the family soon.
I considered Kyra my own sister.
For real, or are you just putting that out there?
That's sort of a
technically,
joke, but
kind of
also,
stepmom.
yeah.
Stepmom.
Yeah.
No. I was like,
Oh yeah, you were consort.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were Adelaide's
so-
consort.
yeah, I was like the sister wife, I guess you could say.
Don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, so basically just getting them used to you and knowing who you are before asking them this huge favor. And after that's finished, Zoshir will walk you to your ornithopter. This is possibly future family for you.
Indeed.
You'll hear from me as soon as possible with the Razia coming up.
Understood.
We have much to plan.
Thank you, Soshir.
Something surprised you about your interactions with the rest of your siege, Zoshir. Normally, to ask that an outframe like this, who's not, in this case, not a direct descendant from Kyra, to be fully accepted into the siege and to be given like a Chris knife or anything like that would be unheard of. Like, most Fremen would balk at the idea. But the moment you say this is what we're going to do, they accept it without question most of the time. Like, there's very little in the way of dissent. Your word is law now.
Oh, he wouldn't quite go about saying this is what we're going to do. He'd be asking, how do you feel about this? Do you have any reservations, etc.?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like you phrase it in the most neutral way possible. Like, would this be possible? It is always possible because you made it so, is what they would tell you, like, and you'd be like, and this sort of dread, this existential dread is starting to slowly creep in as you realize, like, these people will literally fall on their own swords for you if you bade them to do so.
Yeah, don't like that.
No. Welcome to DUNE.
Shit.
Is there something that you wanted to do prior to the assault?
Training and basically checking on everyone else if anyone has any, I really don't want to do this, saying you don't have to, and letting them know it, trying to bolster spirits as well.
Yeah. You come across Tiberius who is training with Duncan, Idaho, and the others. And when they see, in their way of combat, like Duncan is showing the Fremen the Atreides form of hand-to-hand combat, and like he has a Florentine style with two blades, as you're very aware of. And Tiberius is trying to learn how to move in that way, and they see you, and you see Tiberius is trying to fit in now that he's officially part of the tribe, and for the first time he you see him without the mask on, uh, and his gaze meets yours, and he's like, Madi, he says, and he kind of like bows respectfully. It I feel um, like perhaps I made the wrong impression previously. I did not realize that you were the word made flesh, as they call you. And he's like, I think to our time when I placed a blade to your throat, and that we came so close to losing you, to losing our future. Will you forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive. You were doing your job. And I'm still me. There's no reason for such pomp.
There's no pomp. I come from a major house of the Imperium, and I humbly lay my sword at your behest, in your name, because this is our way now. And this is my new family, he says. He gestures to the seats around you.
Are you
I hope that
adjusting well?
I am trying, but I'm finding it somewhat difficult.
What is difficult for you?
In all the time that I served House Cheshire, in the time that I lived in the Imperium, I always felt that I didn't fit in, and that I needed to disappear. And now that I'm here, and that I'm part of this community, I feel that I've been, for the first time, that what I do matters, that I'm valued for what I'm able to provide, more so than I was when I served Marshal Reed. But I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel that there is a piece of me that is missing. And I think following in your footsteps, I think in serving our new cause will fulfill that for me. But of course, these are only my thoughts. I must put these thoughts into action, and put those actions into motion, as we will do shortly against the Harkonnens. I suppose part of it is a fear of death. Do you share in these same fears? I hear that you, in the field, that you are a peerless master of the Crysknife.
Oh, I'm certain I am not without peer. I'll do my best. Battlefield. Of course I fear death. But at the same time I don't. It is a bit complicated. I know that my soul, spirit, whatever you wish to call it, will return to the dunes.
To the funeral plane. He nods. It's like, yes, these are very complicated times, very complicated feelings. It's like, I hope that we survive this, and that we will continue into the future, and that I will prove myself to you and to the tribe. that I can belong to this family.
I will leave you with this one piece of wisdom. And I can't say that I have come up with it, so don't attribute it to me. It's better to fight to live than fighting to die.
He nods in agreement. I see the wisdom of it. Thank you for your wise words. And he kind of like goes back to, he squats on a rock and starts sharpening his knives and stuff like that. Duncan gives you a heads up and claps you on the shoulder. Ha! Breaking in the troops, huh? Driving up the morale. Getting ready for the big attack. It'll be an honor to serve alongside you.
Likewise.
He's like, here, let me show you a few techniques I've picked up. Goes out over to like the practice ring, and Tiberius just looks out and his gaze lingers for a moment. Is there anything that you do prior to the assault? Now that you've spoken with your people and made sure everybody's ready to go and die?
Well, he is super stoked to actually practice with someone who's not going to treat him like some holy object.
He's like, you're telegraphing. Come on, stop doing
that. Yes, absolutely.
Look at my hands, not at my feet. Come on.
I'm so sorry, your feet are just so large.
What they all say. You have a few back and forths with Duncan. He considers you a good, good-hearted person, so he's looking forward to spilling some Harkonnen blood with you in the following days. You get to decide, because you're leading this charge, how you want to approach the mission. Obviously, you're taking the opportune time to assault just when this storm is slated to come in, thanks to the information that you got from your guild contacts vis-a-vis Eloise. You know it's a pretty significant storm, even though it's this place is based inside the Imperial Basin. There is still a good amount of static and interference that can occur when a storm like this rolls in. He does have a few suggestions for you. He's like, you need to try to cut their communications. If we can manage to knock them out, we might be able to stop them from being able to summon reinforcements. As long as we hit them fast, we might be able to get away with the spice before the rest of them are wiser to give chase. He also makes you aware that in addition to where the spice is housed at the observation tower, there are two other outposts that make up a listening outpost for the Harkonnen. So anybody flying in and out of that area, they'll pick up on it first before it ever reaches the botanical research station. So they rely on these other eyes and ears in the immediate area in the event of an attack. So he's like, we might want to keep that in mind if you want to hit those first, or if you want to have some other way of disrupting their communication. I feel that might be something we can put on the table. Unless you want to go for an all-out assault, I'm all for it. In which case, I recommend the use of ornithopters if possible. House Cheshire has them aplenty, and they're outfitted for war. I've seen them firsthand. So, and he's just putting stuff on the table for you. You can do away with it or incorporate it into your plan however you wish.
If I recall correctly, the tidbit of information that we'd gotten would be the Harkonnens would least expect a full frontal assault.
Correct.
So sticking with that, and then the little sneaky group side of the building.
Okay. So a frontal assault to bring out their attention and then slip in through the back door. Is the idea of getting in access to the botanical testing station involve scaling the mountain, or is the idea just to fly in low with an ornithopter under their radar and then just kind of like, drop them off on the roof of the building or something like that, and then slip in that way. You know of that secret area where the aperture opens up, and it's that big circular room with a little rinky-dink ornithopter. You know that you know how to gain access to that now because of the Dwali.
Yeah, definitely using the Idwali secret passageway, secret tunnel.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so now that everybody's had their moves, Archibald,
Yes.
what was your move? Yes.
I believe there's one other move.
Mm.
Kinds. I want to see if I can find her again.
You try to raise her on the communinet?
If I don't know where she's at,
Nobody usually does.
then
Don't feel bad. Yeah, you get her on the communinet. General Archibald. So what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I realized that our last meeting wasn't very cordial, to be honest.
It was very exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'd like to meet up with you. Let me have you waste my time instead of the other way around.
What is it that you are proposing here, General?
I just feel like that you have gotten the wrong impression of me and what I want to do. So I'd like to speak with you about it.
I'll give you one last chance, General. I certainly hope that your new proposal is impressive. Where shall we meet?
Well, out of character, can I just say her house?
To your knowledge, she doesn't have a house or a residency on the planet. She has technically an office in the palace, but she's never there. You could meet her wherever you like. It's up to you.
So I would probably say, to be honest with you, I am new to Arrakis, so I don't know the land of layout.
Allow me
Tell
then.
me of a place.
I'll set the place, and you meet me there.
Sounds good.
So he gives you coordinates that you're kind of familiar with. It's the Tuek camp on the southern hemisphere of the planet, where you met with the Tuek smuggler group, Staban and his son. So you take an ornithopter out. Your Varangian guard goes with you, unless you wanted them specifically to go elsewhere.
Nope.
In which case you would be flying solo.
Do I want the Harkonnens to know I'm doing this?
Does it matter?
Yeah, it really doesn't. It's not like I'm. You're right.
You fly out to the poles. It takes quite a while to get there by thopter, but you get there just fine. Another storm is rolling in. Weird. But as you land, you see that Kynes and her escort are here waiting for you underneath a large tent just outside the main camp where the smugglers make their apply their trade, and the Water Sellers Union warehouse their findings. It's a little cooler down here in this area. The Palmares are not too far away. You see one of the Fremen sees you disembark. General Archibald, this way. Dr. Kynes will see you. And they bring you to this little shaded spot. And he's sitting there just, like staring on her knees, staring out into the flat dunes in the distance, and just kind of like almost like her hands at her side, almost appears to be praying. One of them touches her shoulder and she starts to get up. General Archibald, what is it that you brought me all the way out here for?
Saw you praying. May I ask what exactly you're praying to?
I like to keep such things private, if you don't mind.
Yeah, totally. So I wanted to kind of tell you I guess this is my last effort, I'd guess, to contact you. I will be leaving Arrakis here soon.
So soon? Why?
Just my ambitions, and then I do have, and it does. Thing is that's kind of what I want to talk to you about.
Your ambitions.
Yes. Well, not really
Go
my
on.
ambitions, but thing is I really didn't like the way that I guess you took the way. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I don't see these worms as cattle.
What do you see them as?
To be honest with you, like the same way you see them.
I highly doubt that.
Why not? Literally,
Because
they
you
could
don't know
take
me,
down.
General.
I know, but I also have an idea of what the Fremen. This is part of their culture.
She looks at you pointedly first when you say that. What do you know about the Fremen? What do you know of this world, General?
Nothing. I think
Well
that's
then, that is an honest response. I think that's the first honest thing you've said to me since we've spoken. And now that we've begun to become honest with one another, I can be honest with you. I don't know what it is that you want from me or from this planet, but I can assure you that other people have tried to replicate the spice cycle here, or to scheme to create worms elsewhere. And it has gone very, very poorly for them. So if you're one of these adventurers who thinks that they are special in some way, or that the worms on this planet and the people that reside on this planet are to be used as tools or as a means to another to your personal ambitions and ends, let me just tell you that you are sadly mistaken.
And you're right. And I deserve that. Let's just say I didn't choose my words very well. To be honest with you, it's kind of intimidating when you come up. And I was kind of smitten by it, I guess.
Oh, now it's flattery, I see.
Yeah, a little bit. But
very kind.
My main goal, believe it or not, is more preservation than anything.
The natives on Arrakis are known for their ability to survive, General Archibald.
Yeah, but I also know that Arrakis is a prison.
Is it?
Well, yeah. You got the Harkonnens breathing down your neck, the Emperor, the Guild, all of it.
Everything that has been placed here, aside from the Fremen and the sandworms of DUNE, is temporary. Because as time marches on, every great house that has held the reins of power on Arrakis have either disappeared or gone away. The only thing permanent on Arrakis is what you see here. And she gestures up to the sands that she was just looking at a moment ago. If you intend to change these things,
no.
I think you might be, or rather, to replicate these things elsewhere, you might be looking in the wrong place. Or looking up the wrong person, perhaps.
But what I am suggesting is, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to Tupile after Arrakis.
What do you want with the exile planet?
Thing is they have 7 planets worth of houses. What I want to do is, I know there's old technology that could change the face of a planet.
Now you have her full attention.
Yep.
Go on, I'm listening.
I want to make another Arrakis. And I want a haven for the Fremen. Like I said, more preservation. Okay.
You want to recreate what you call a prison elsewhere?
No. You see, the thing is that's why I came here to offer you as well. If this does, and if this is successful, I want you to run it.
You want to turn another planet into Arrakis?
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is nobody knows where Two-Pile is, so no one could bother you. But
give me a communication roll. Second. And immediately give me a
communication roll.
discipline. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. So which one do we need?
Roll communication first and try to get like 2 successes, and then roll discipline observation. You need like at least 1 or 2 successes for discipline.
All right, I got secret messages going like haywire. Right
Oh,
now.
you do you? It's already begun.
All right, so communication. Which drive should I do?
Well, this is for. I would argue this is for power, but I mean, it's up to
Yeah,
your
I'd say
interpretation ultimately.
Power. Submit.
Why else would you want to recreate Arrakis elsewhere? You want to recreate the spice cycle.
Yep. Oh, 4.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you actually get 2 momentum back, so now you're up to 3. Now roll discipline observation. You make it clear that you are planning on getting your hands on some very old technology that could potentially terraform a planet in the way that you want to, and that interests her.
Really?
Go ahead and roll discipline.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Power as well.
Yeah, and you need like 2 successes.
All right. 2 successes. Exact.
She is interested in what you're saying, but at the same time, there is something about her response that makes you think that she's more interested in where you're going. Like she's lying about being fully invested in what you're doing, but there is an aspect to what you're saying that interests her. So there's some genuine interest in her response to you, but on the other hand, like she's like, yeah, that sounds great, and she's kind of like gritting her teeth when she says it, you know. So part of your plan is enticing her, and the other part is like repulsing her, and she's trying to smile through her teeth at you.
Got ya. All
You
right.
do pick up on this. You can
I know.
spend some of the momentum you just generated if you want to ask a question of me, and I'll have to answer it truthfully.
Sure.
All right, spending 1 momentum. What would you like to know?
What did it take to get her to do this?
The promise of getting her hands on the terraforming equipment. That's what she's mostly interested in. So as long as you can promise her equal share of terraforming equipment, which is, by the way, lost technology, or
Yeah.
to didn't exist beyond the Balerian Jihad. Yeah, if you can promise her that, you're pretty sure you can you can hook her right into your little conspiracy.
So you're telling me she's not even for the Fremen. She just wants the tech.
No, the entire recreation of the spice cycle elsewhere does not appeal to her at all. Like she is just like, she feels, you could almost feel it see it on her face as she's struggling to say no, but at the same time she's like, if I can get my hands on this terraforming technology, I can achieve my father's dream, which is to
change Arrakis. Got
correct.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it seems you're interested in something. What is it?
Yes. I don't see Arrakis as a prison like you do. I see it as an opportunity. One that many people have overlooked.
Okay.
And I think if we were able to get our hands on technology like that, we could change the face of Arrakis and better the lives of countless people.
I agree.
Do you?
I do.
She seems a little skeptical, obviously, about your intentions, but she's
So,
like, sure.
I have a
Do
question.
you have access
for
to
her
this
now.
technology already? Or do you know where to find it?
No, believe it or not. But I will.
When you do, General Archibald, I'll be waiting.
It's also another thing I'd like to talk to you about. I guess it involves House Cheshire. There's been
None
some
of
change.
my business, but
Well, more the Fremen than anything. But apparently, Lady Daphne is now family. She's part of the Fremen, and she's marrying a Naib.
this is all rumor.
No, it's not.
I don't pretend to know anything about the Fremen, General Archibald. These are just my guides. She just select the 4 hard cases behind her.
Well, just thought it was information that you would need in the future.
I'll take that into consideration. Good day to you.
And thank you for your audience.
Well, goes back to the ornithopter, and off they go. By the time you reach this place, it has already, the sun is starting to go down, starting to get dark, and that means it's starting to get very, very cold. So do you pack it up and head back to the palace after refueling, or do you stick around and stay the night and come back in the morning or something?
What's the safest way?
There's a storm coming, so maybe stay until the morning? Unclear.
To be honest, yeah, because Archibald is like rather curious on how these he wasn't lying when he said I would like to learn more about the Fremen and the people that live here. So why not just live here?
Okay. You stay in the smuggler encampment. Excuse me. Okay. So, as you're flying over the sands of Arrakis, arriving at the derelict volcanoes on the western hemisphere of the planet Daphne, you see Raban's Harkonnen forces fan out and get into position for the hunt. They have a harvester, and they have their weapon of choice to destroy the Leviathan. Varys is sitting next to you or behind you on the ornithopter, and he kind of peers over somebody's shoulder and looks out onto the sands as the sun is going down. It's like, what exactly are they going to be doing? He asks the pilot, and he kind of listens into the radio chatter, and it's like, it sounds like the governor is going to set up some sort of a ploy to lure the worm, and then they're going to retreat back for some sort of a spectacle. And the staging area is down there, he says, and he points out to this ring of islands, these rocky outcroppings near this volcano, very far away from where the Harkonnens are going with their harvester. You see the big yellow plume of spice mining taking place way down there, many, many miles away. You have to see it through foil binoculars to be able to see what's going on. The other through the headsets and such, you hear the radio chatter from the other ornithopters that belong to the other houses. And so you hear like Nikolai saying, "When is the show going to start, huh?" There's also all manner of like back and forth between the different house retainers and such. What are you doing as they're setting up the plan, as it were?
So Daphne makes a very terrible realization about how involved she is capable of getting, given her current condition, and if they are actually using atomics. Really fucking hope that staging area is lead lined. That being said, she's very carefully, so her goal is to try and save Shai Hulud without tipping her hand. And so as she watches like all the forces move into position, she's very carefully like studying what they are up to. Like, is there a fulcrum that she might be able to access to change the outcome, to change Raban's intended outcome?
Unless you order what forces you have with you to like openly disrupt their operations, like open fire on Raban's ornithopter or the other Harkonnens' ornithopters and effectively declare war on the Harkonnens, there probably isn't. Unless you call in like a special sabotage squad or something like that to go and dismantle essentially a nuclear bomb, or in this case a stone burner. You don't anticipate there's a lot you can do personally to stop the governor from doing what he's going to do.
It will cost momentum to pay for the sabotage squad.
Let me see.
To create them as an asset.
Yeah, you would have to spend momentum, and I think you can increase their quality by spending a determination point. Is that right, Devin?
Yes. Let me double check the rules on that one, but I believe that you can get it up to like 2 quality.
Yeah, so if you could, for this scene, spend those points to create that asset and be like, ha, I had a plan all this time that I was waiting to enact, which is to, send a special group of, House Cheshire saboteurs to, like, dismantle this thing or whatever. You could say that they were on loan white rabbits from, like, House Librius or something like that, and you could just, on Archibald's orders, go in and, like, take care of this nuke for me.
Yes, I will spend that momentum, and I will spend, that determination to make that happen, because...
Okay, let me just preface that with this.
Okay.
If there are complications, or if this roll fails, House Cheshire will be directly implicated, and the consequences will be vast.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, you can create it with determination and then make it quality 2 with 2 points of momentum.
It's the other way around. Yeah,
it's quality 1 by creating it with determination, and then quality 2 with momentum. Or if you just are worried about yourself, like you said about the lead line bit, you could give the trait.
You could spend the momentum, yeah. Make a check and spend the momentum to create the trait that whatever... What is it that you wanted to be lead lined?
Daphne does not want to get caught in the fallout.
Well, it's far enough. The staging area for the explosion is like way out there. So the idea is that you're gonna sit here and watch Raban, who's a big boy, set a bomb off over there, and then he, when he sets the bomb, he's gonna come back, and you're all gonna watch as the worm gets destroyed because he's a sick bastard.
Rather than that, you could set the timer to quality timer faulty.
Oh yeah, you could set
goes off early,
and then he nukes himself. You could try to do that too, but
okay, tempting. But
the Geneva Conventions being what they are and all that.
If he's gonna use a nuke and he gets himself blown up, that's his own fault.
Daphne's in her pacifist period.
That's right.
This isn't Daphne, though. This is a game mechanic that you're making.
Ah,
Oh my god.
You shall do no harm, Daphne.
exactly.
Hey, we are not hypocrite. Or
Yes,
signing
you're right.
Democratic
Daphne
oath
is
here.
in do no harm. So I'm gonna spend the momentum. I'm gonna spend the determination. We're gonna risk it.
Why not make it a Fremen contingent instead?
Well, so ideally, oh yeah, can I borrow the? No, I cannot borrow the Tiberii. They're busy.
I mean, you are the daughter of Kyra, so they hold you. What Devin is suggesting is actually pretty safe. You already told the Fremen that they were planning on using a stone burner, so they would
That's
have,
true.
they would have incentive to intervene here. They have a
Okay.
heads up, so yeah, that's
All
very
right.
conceivable.
Cool. Then I will create a sabotage squad. There probably
Nice.
would have to be like at least one person there who understands nuclear physics to be cut that wire, not that one.
They can be provided assistance. You know, you have a mentat who
One
can
bomb
read a
squad
book on the
tech.
subject. Who could read an entire library on the subject in an afternoon and be like, do this, and you'll be fine. You know, sure. Okay, so you're gonna spend how much momentum is it? Is it 1 or 2?
I think Devin said spend 2 momentum for quality 2.
Got
One
it. Is that, and that's
determination,
what you,
then in 2 momentum to increase it to 2.
Okay.
ah,
Yeah.
you're
So
at 0 momentum.
I'm spending our 2 momentum. Sorry guys, but I really want to save this work.
All right.
Wait, so what exactly is going on? No.
She is sending a secret from an sabotage group to do something to the stone burner that Raban is about to set off to destroy the Leviathan.
Okay.
What is it that you instruct them to do? Just to disable the stone burner, or
Essentially to do whatever is safest to them, because Daphne doesn't want them sacrificing their lives either. So just get in, unplug the bomb, leave. Like maybe take I don't know how nuclear bombs work, but take the spark plugs so they can't plug it back in.
So the spark plug is actually an atomic, because an atomic is set off to make the stone burner go.
Okay.
So they would call it away or something. They'd take out the core or whatever,
Yeah.
stow it in the
decore the
yeah.
atomic, and then it would disarm the stone burner too.
I'm so
Sure.
sorry to interrupt, but I just heard Bob go nuclear bombs. And just...
Bob's the best. Roll for the Fremen squad. I'm gonna give you access to. Let's see. Look on where it says Sich Hagaharg in that folder in the character journal. There are some characters in there that you can access, all of you. And one of them is Fremen Warden. They have essentially kind of the same stats as the Fadakin. So just make sure, in this particular case, they're going to try to do some infiltrating. So go ahead and roll their 7, what is it?
The Fremen Warden is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it'll be the, see where it says move, click that, and then hit truth. In essence, the Fadakin have 7 everything for their drives because they're fanatical. So,
Shit.
just
Okay.
yeah. So you can hit that, combine move with truth,
Okay.
and
Do focuses
whatever
apply?
yes, they will have a specialty in stealth in this particular case.
Okay.
Now, because these are NPCs and not named characters, you roll 1 die instead of 2.
Okay.
But if you want to give me threat, I'll allow you to roll extra dice.
Take your threat, sir.
Take the
All right. I will take a threat, so you get to roll 2 dice instead of 1.
Alright, so they're rolling truth. 2 dice, focus is applied. Oh god. Okay, 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. Second here. So that means their total successes are 4 because they're quality 2.
Okay.
Outstanding. Now let me roll for the Harkonnens because they're going to be vigilant in making sure that on pain of death that nobody fucks with Raban's plan. Let's see here. Harkonnens. This is truth and discipline, which they're not very good at.
That's good.
Okay. I'm gonna spend that threat you gave me. So they roll 2 dice, and they don't have focus. I'm gonna use my malevolence.
Oh. Who gave you malevolence?
Betty.
Betty. Oh my god.
Luckily
Betty.
for you, that's the only one. That was last session. Wow.
It was
18s in a row,
malevolent.
so
Malevolence.
it was not to be. Okay, so you got 3 successes out of 4 because they got 1, which means you get wow. So you get 3 momentum back from that. Very well done. So what ends up happening is kind of funny and not at all what I anticipated was going to happen. You just kind of sit back and you have this little smug smile on your face, and as everybody else is horrified, like you're sitting in the ornithopter, like, oh my god, he's gonna blow up a worm? Like, is he serious about this?
Not smiling. She's because she knows there's a lot of fucking failure points on this plan, and she's not gonna know if it worked or not until it's too late.
This inactive volcano has a plateau, and so everybody gets out, and they provide like oil and binoculars, and there's a storm rolling in. So there's a lot of sand, so like they cover you all up, and they give you like the goggles and stuff to look out. And you see the Harkonnens set up the ornithopter, and there's like a big commotion as one of the carryalls peels off without the harvester, which is part of the plan. But you see some of the Harkonnen ornithopters chase after it, like shooting after it. Just then, Raban's ornithopter comes back and he gets out and he's all like puffing his chest out, like, yeah, this is gonna be great. And the worm comes as anticipated, the Leviathan, the worm that you saw in your dream at the beginning of the season. It comes up and it swallows the ornithopter whole. It is colossal in size, and you can't believe it. You're looking at it through the oil and binoculars. You're zooming in. And it's just like this incredible monstrosity, and just like in your vision. And when it opens its mouth, it inhales, and as doing so creates a fucking vortex that sucks in everything in the air and on the ground around it. Like all the ornithopters go smash into each other and fall, and like it goes right into its maw. And it just like rides after swallowing the harvester and like wrecks everything there before going back down. And Raban is like, any minute now, any moment now, they'll know that only I can kill the worms on Arrakis. Nothing happens. And he turns to, what? Did you prime the explosives? What is going on with that ornithopter? Sir, I think there might be something defective going on. Get over there and make sure that the explosive goes off. Make sure that where's the detonator, he says. And they hand it to him, and he goes into the ornithopter himself and goes flying out to, like, come on. He's hitting the detonator switch, the dead man switch, in case it didn't already go off, which it absolutely should have already. Nothing occurs. There is no big spiral of fire or this big column of fire that Elois saw. Not this time. Instead, Raban, who is absolutely furious and with anger, he circles back, and he calls on the other Harkonnens, and they all kind of touch their earpiece, and they start running off without you. And everybody, the rest of you and the other houses, Nikolai and the rest are just kind of left looking at each other, sort of embarrassed, like, what the hell is happening here? What's going on? And nobody really knows what's happening, but the Harkonnens, you see, are boarding their ornithopters, and they're flying off and over the area where they were staging the explosive, the atomics, and it looks like they're heading straight into Fremen territory. And that's where we'll stop for our break. The time is now 12:39 Eastern
Mm.
Standard Time. We shall return in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And we have returned from our break. We last left off, Daphne had sent in a secret squad of Fremen Fadakin to disable the stone burner that Raban had planned to use to destroy the Leviathan. And a very upset Raban took off into the distance with his Harkonnen retinue, planning to go into Fremen territory to enact their massacre either way. And the rest of the group was planning on the Razia, big raid on the spice horde that the Harkonnens have made illegally in a different part of Arrakis, in the northern hemisphere.
Okay.
All right.
Daphne has sent a good message to Zoshir. Heads up.
Oh god.
Yes. So you get several messages, in fact, Zoshir. When the time comes at night to begin movement out to the site, as the storm rolls in, big Coriolis. You get the message from Daphne that the Stoneburner was disabled, but you also get a notification from General Archibald that, and you can word it however you want, Archibald. How would he give Zoshir heads up?
I have a plan. I ask you to trust me. Well, is this urgent? Are we like doing this now?
Well, this is not like an instant communication. This is literally a message that they would be reading and going, oh, yeah. And then, proceeding with the rest of their day.
Yeah, I would say I have a plan. Please, I have a plan. Don't start until I explain it to you. Could cause a lot less death.
Oh.
And that's what was on the paper.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to Zoshir.
No, this was a message.
Right. Before the action moves to the northern hemisphere and to the Razia, we go to Carthag for a moment. Pardo Reed is in the Harkonnen Palace, and he is just finished interrogating the people that were captured, that were caught assisting Alicia in assaulting the palace in Arakeen. He's managed to get all the information that he needed from them, and now he is satisfied and, bringing them back with him and his retinue back to the palace. However, when he looks around the Harkonnen Palace in Carthag, he notices that there's a large presence of Harkonnen troops here, more than usual. And there's just something off about the entire scene, like they're preparing to go to war. This is unusual considering the Raban, the governor, is elsewhere, presumably destroying this great sandworm that he had set his sights on for so long. So he begins idling down the hallway and tells his crew that he'll be right back. He happens upon a large hall where generally Raban holds court. The door is seemingly ajar, so he kind of peeks in and looks around, and he sees that it's a very dimly lit room, but there is some sort of hushed conversation going on inside. There's a little man with slick back hair and sort of a demure presence, speaking and nodding in agreement to some unseen form. And he notices that Pardo is listening. We have an audience. Pardo, sensing a moment to perhaps engage in a little intrigue, walks in and introduces himself. Hello, my name is Pardo Reed. I work for House of Cheshire. I was just here for picking up some captives. And then the door shuts behind him. And he looks around, and the man, the little tiny man, turns around, looks at him with blue eyes and stained lips. A fellow Mentat. A fellow twisted Mentat. Oh, yes, I know who you are, he says. Don't we? And then another voice comes from nearby, and the chamber reverberates inside the halls. Ah, Mentat. Ah, yes, I know who you are. And we know what you've done. And you see Pardo is like, he looks around and this form comes down. And he's like, he beholds the Baron Harkonnen. And he's like, Baron, it's good to see you, I suspect. A surprise, to be sure. I thought perhaps that you would be joining your nephew in this hunt. Why, perchance, are you here with such a contingent of soldiers? Surely you're not preparing for war, are you? And he's like, don't play foolish with me, Mentat. You know what you've done, and there's always a price to pay. And he's like, I assure you, I don't know what you're talking about. Piter turns around, looks at him, and is like, oh, you most definitely do. We know what you've been planning, but it's all right. We've taken every contingency into account. The Harkonnens never lose. And you see, Frodo senses that he's in danger, so he begins to back off a little bit. And when he reaches his communinet, it's still active, but he doesn't realize it. But he's inside of a cone of silence, so his call is being scrambled. He maneuvers to try to get it around, but these big, strong hands the size of bowling balls grabs a hold of his collar. Where do you think you're going? And then we switch back to the rest of the crew on the Northern Hemisphere as the Razi is about to begin. All right. So everything's fine. You all hit the field, so to speak, on the back of worms or in ornithopters, and you encircle the area that you're planning to assault. Now, because you have the element of surprise, you can place your units wherever you like. There are several areas that you can stage from and approach. Each one of those large hexagons there is just considered a zone, and you can move your piece from one zone to the next, just like in skirmish combat. That move will comprise your entire round, unless you perform moving subtly or moving boldly. Moving boldly typically will force your opponent, in this case the Harkonnens, to move to where you want them to move, right? Moving subtly, however, allows you to move and then perform another action or allow someone else to go on your side. Very similar to keeping the initiative, where you pay two momentum to keep going instead of ping-ponging back and forth. The first move is yours, though. You can position yourselves wherever you like. Is there any place that Zoshir would like to move from with his Fremen, as opposed to where they are right now?
So what is considered the full frontal assault?
Well, that would depend on what you're assaulting. So this place right here that I'm pointing to, that is the botanical testing station at the very top of Observation Mountain. This is a command center where these 3 Harkonnen troops, each one of these tokens represents like hundreds of Harkonnens in some cases. So there's a lot of them there. The more units there are in a zone, the more difficult they are to defeat because they're working in unison against you. Just keep that in mind. This is the second outpost here, where the first and second outposts act as listening posts. So basically, they handle communications and the dispatch of ornithopters in the event that they have some sort of an attack by air. The command center is where you have the Harkonnen commander, basically, that gives the orders, and where the barracks are stored. If one condition of your success depends on getting into here and getting the spice out, the big spice port, and getting away with it. However, if you manage to dispose of these 3 starred objectives, you essentially win the Razzia. The problem, of course, is that you're up against a whole hell of a lot of Harkonnen forces in each place, as opposed to just going to one place and fighting a couple 100 or so Harkonnen. So it's up to you how you want to plan out this assault. There's a little bit of tactics involved if you want to engage in that. Like Idaho said, you could just try disrupting their communications. The Storm is kind of already doing that, but they could still potentially raise reinforcements if there's like a break in the storm. So you have a couple different things that you can try. 1 second. Is everybody able to see the Harkonnen tokens and the Fremen tokens and such in the little building?
Wait, in the little building or
I see
next to
I
it?
see the star in the building. I just don't. The stars in the building. I don't see any tokens. I sent you what I see.
I see.
Really?
Oh, sending. What
I
you
see that. And that. And this. And then I see all these tokens down here.
Huh. Okay,
Yeah,
1 second.
I posted in Dune chat what I see.
Yeah, I posted to you what I see. Oh. you
Yeah, that's
see
exactly
something
what
do.
I see.
Okay, yeah, you see the Harkonnen. Those Harkonnen. Those are Harkonnen tokens that represent like 50 or 100 troops.
Yeah.
Okay, so just want to make sure you had it. You could see the same thing I do.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Kind of
I had to reload.
No worries. So yeah, that's what you see as far as like opposition. So if you wanted to do a frontal assault, it depends on where you want to go. Do you want to hit the command center and hit the chain of command? Do you want to hit their outposts and kill their communications, or do you want to go straight to the throat and assault the base while your infiltration team goes in incognito?
Oh, it's not my turn, but I'll just say like we have an infiltration team for a reason, I think. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
true.
assuming that infiltration team is composed of Amira and Duncan and who else would you say?
the reason I asked for the one El Dwali group is because I assumed they would be considered
Yeah, they'll lead you
sacrificial
in.
lamb. So yeah, the Dwali, Duncan, and Amira.
Very good. So that's your infiltration team. And so Tiberius will then be joining Zoshir and the others in the frontal assault that you want to conduct. What does that
Yes,
look
indeed.
like, Zoshir? Where does units want to go? Where do they start from, and where are they going?
Oh boy. I think they would start from the spot where they would least be seen, so it's a surprise. We're here to kill you.
Sure.
And I'm guessing that's probably that valley.
This right here.
Um,
That I'm pinging.
Either
This
that
area?
or like, yeah. Is that too difficult to climb? It looks kind of intense.
No, it shouldn't be a problem for you. You're moving at night, but not represented by the map, of course, but you are moving at night and on the back of worms. So the worms could easily make their way through that valley and up around the side and the back of the observation mountain. So yeah, you can absolutely steer them that way, and then your guys can drop off and start up. Now, if you didn't want to make the climb, how exactly did you want to get up there to do your infiltration?
Oh, the infiltration was via the secret tunnel.
Ah, okay.
Secret tunnel.
Gotcha. All right, so the Adwali would be leading that, and I'm gonna say one of the things that you can do when you make your move, Zoshir, is that you can take another unit with you when you move. So, like, if you wanted to move Zoshir, and each one of your characters has like a contingent of Fremen troops with you. It's not just you fighting alone in that little unit. So Chani, for example, has groups of Fremen following her into battle, for example, and so does Stilgar and so on. So if Zoshir wanted to, he can move to an adjacent zone and take another piece with him, like an Adwali or a Fremen troop with him.
Okay.
Take Johnny.
They want her killed, don't you?
I don't want Johnny to die. I plan to introduce her to Mossum.
Ooh, I like that match. So I'm thinking, decisions. Because part of my brain's like, if you cut off the head of the snake, but the other part's like, well, communications is very vital.
Yes. So you have a decision to make on what is your primary target. Either way, all the anger, all the consequences are going to be focused on you and whoever you take with you. So keep that in mind as well.
In that case, in all honesty, take Stilgar with you. Because he can take care of
Okay.
himself.
Well then, I suggest I'm gonna move Zoshir exactly where we're gonna start.
Okay.
That grouping right there.
Which one?
If I moved my little token on top of the star or under the star apparently.
I don't see
Moving around.
Zoshir under a star. I see him.
I don't
He's
see it
right
either.
here.
That's so weird. Do I need to refresh roll 20?
So, question on
Maybe.
Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah.
Could he potentially be with me?
Not with Archibald. No,
He's with the
could be with the
infiltration group.
Varangian Guard, but if he's part of the infiltration group, I'm guessing he's gonna
So-
go a separate way.
It is reloading, but it's being wonky. Chrome's
Alright.
giving me a hard time. That rocky plateau, would we be seen if we came right from there?
Not in the middle of a sandstorm and at night. No, they're not
Excellent.
expecting Fremen to present a frontal assault with worms and stuff like that. They're like, we're more worried about ornithopter traffic than anything.
All right, so that basically top one, that's like if it was a really weird ass triangle, the north of the map is where we'll start.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. This place right here.
I
wanna take
I
Stilgar
can't
with you?
see because Chrome
Yeah.
has decided to
Hold
say.
on. Ambrose, let me screen cap and you tell me if this is right. Boom. There's Dune chat for you.
Was that where you wanting them to move, or?
You're muted.
I knew that. Just go into silence, okay? That is yes, a good spot. Perfect, right there.
Okay, so that's where you will begin your assault, however you want to do it. Who else will be joining you as part of that group? It's just you and Stilgar, or in your forces, or did you want to bring others with you?
Myself, Stilgar. I will send Nalia to head up the other communications.
Ah, okay. So over here, or
'Cause-
the first outpost? You want them to the leftmost one?
Leftmost is Zoshir and Stilgar. Rightmost
Okay.
communications is Nelia and
Oh, okay.
some Fremens.
So Fremens, how many? You have 4 units, and you one Dwali.
I can give you a Furman if you want to use one of mine. For the rightmost.
Okay.
All right, so you get.
Yeah,
a
I think
Fremen
one
for
unit
that.
per. How many Fremen are in a unit versus a unit of Harkonnen?
You don't know. You don't know how many there are. You estimate anywhere from 50 to 100. It just depends. Could be lower, could be higher.
Well, as long as we're taking out communications, we could use some extra troops, and they wouldn't really be able to tell the command center much.
Correct. That is something you can try.
Better
okay.
to have too many people than not enough.
Right, you want to overwhelm them. Okay.
Overkill.
Where is Chani, and is there somebody that she wants to take with her as part of the staging for the assault?
Shawnee? Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
if Shawnee's leading the assault, she'll take, I suppose the other Idwali?
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's a spare unit of Fremen, them as well.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, they'll follow you up in this way. So you stage from there, you go over here. You stage from over here, and you immediately move into that space. take Stilgar with you. Nelia moves into the second outpost area, takes one of the Fremen with her. Excellent. So, this works a little bit different than the skirmish rules. Ornithopters, for example, and I'm also including the worms in this, can move twice around because they're fast units. So they can move 2 zones instead of 1, essentially is what that means. When commanding a unit from outside the zone, skill rolls and keeping the initiative costs are reduced by 1. So instead of having to pay 2 momentum, it's actually 1 momentum only. Failure to move boldly and or subtly results in the enemy able to move 1 asset by 1 zone, and inability to keep the initiative. Attackers' final difficulty increases by 1 for every additional unit in the same zone. Okay, so remember how you normally fight in skirmish, and it's like, oh, you need a difficulty 2 or whatever to successfully attack them because I roll their defense first. It would be increased exponentially by however other units are in the same zone with it. So part of the strategy here is to get them to move away. Sometimes you can do that by moving boldly if you successfully make a move difficulty 2 roll. It's the classic strategy, saying where it's like you divide and conquer. It's basically that. If an asset occupying the same zone as a major character, they can elect to move with the unit. Hey, I already covered that. Okay, just want to make sure I got that out of the way. Okay, is everybody where they want to be? I don't think they are completely. We still have Duncan, Idaho, and Tiberius and Amira and Hurdy.
Sorry.
think-
I mean, place them here.
What's Tiberius's his skill set?
I believe it's similar to Amira's, but let me double check.
The sneaky?
Tiberius, I believe. So.
I don't have
Yes.
control of Duncan, so if he wants to roll with us,
Second. Atreides, where did you go? Oh wait, hold on a second. Yep, I lost him. Great. Okay. 1 second. Tiberius has stealth 6, move 6 with stealth focus, and he has battle 7, small blades, and shield fighting. So he is good at sneaking around and slicing people's throats.
Yeah, he's gonna do the sneaky sneak then.
Very good. Second here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give authority to all players to be able to see and utilize Duncan, Idaho, which means you can use the sheet and the token because they're both linked. So now, whoever wants to move Duncan, Idaho can move them. Jared, you have control of over Fremen number 4 if you want to move them to where you want them to start.
Sure. Same with Duncan. What was this guy right here doing?
Hurdy, she is following along with Nelia, so actually she would have pulled the third Fremen group in there, unless Soshir wanted to pull them into their zone.
I would say split Nelia in that front. I would say bring Nelia to the top one right here, and then take that Fremen group over here. That way.
Oh, okay. So this one goes.
That's what I
this
would.
way. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Nelly is already in that group up there, so.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's part of here. To be honest with you, I would probably, because you said these were all 100 soldiers each, right?
Not exactly. It varies tremendously, but we're talking about units that are at the very least 20 people a piece. So you're in command of dozens of people.
Got ya. As long as communications got completely done, so I would probably. I want to flank them. We want to get that flanking bonus that we usually get for that counts in this, right?
Not necessarily. You can create a trait that reflects the fact that you're flanking the enemy.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna create a trait that I'm flanking the enemy right here. I'm taking them from behind and while they're distracted from the front.
Gotcha. 1 second, bro.
If I could do that.
Okay. Damn it. 1 second. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, here we go.
Gremlins.
So, to answer your question, Devin, yes. 1 second.
Yeah, I figured.
Everybody has command now. Whatever. Here. So now you can see Stilgar, and you can move around his token if you need to. Normally there would be some back and forth, like the Harkonnens move, you move, the Harkonnens move, etc. But the Harkonnens don't know you're here, so you can stage and you can make an initial move or attack, and move how you want to help your allies out in this battle. So, who would like to go first in terms of like making the first move or making the first attack roll or what have you?
So
I was thinking strongly suggests the first move is infiltration, so that and anyone feel free to object, so that communications doesn't have the chance to go, oh hey, by the way, we're being attacked.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so the infiltration team is going to go first, which means that's Amira, the Dwali, and Tiberius. You can take control of Tiberius, Ambrose, because technically from a unit, so they're going to move in, and I believe so. You're taking Duncan for something else, then, okay? And you're moving Tiberius, Amira, and Idwali specifically to infiltrate this building here.
I thought
Oh,
Duncan
fine.
was going to be infiltration.
I thought so too, but apparently, I think Archibald wanted him to help outflank the command center. I don't know. Is this what you wanted to do?
I was, but I didn't know. If you want him to be a part of the infiltration, he can be part of infiltration. But I also did make that trait that they're getting flanked right now.
Well,
So,
you,
that's a bonus.
there are ways to create the trait, but you don't just create it. I think if you spend a determination point, you can do that. Otherwise, what you can do is you can make a battle roll, and if you succeed, you can spend 2 of the 3 momentum that you have right now and create that trait. So that
Sure.
way, when they go to respond, they're like, "Oh God, we're being beset by on all sides," you know.
Submit. This is definitely a focus of mine.
Yes, this shouldn't be a problem for you.
2 successes.
Successes, very good. So yeah, you can spend the 2 momentum and create the trait, and that trait for the NPCs is going for this. Yeah, for those NPCs, they're going to be flanked. So that means basically like the difficulty to attack them and defeat them is lowered by 1 essentially because you created that trait for them.
So,
Okay.
Side note on that, the skill test thing, you can waive the costs by doing a skill test.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
So
you can actually keep that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Just to be clear,
Is that
I'm
specific? Sorry.
Archie's with the Ornithopters, right?
Archie's in the South Poles.
Okay.
You can start flying back and start heading up there, but it's going to take a trip. Let's see.
I guess I didn't think they were gonna. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I
Busy
would.
flirting with pines.
No. I didn't think. I thought it was. Okay. My skew of time was 100% fucked up here.
Life can
Or
set
by
you fast on
succeeding.
Arrakis.
I guess so.
Very good. Thank you for that, Devin. I thought it
I
was
thought
like
I
you
had
to
at
do
least a
both.
day before the rise, but apparently not. It was happening that day. Fuck.
It's okay.
Cool. So Duncan's going to the infiltration team. let's see who's whoever's controlling Duncan. Go ahead and make a move check for him. Just need a move difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. Well, my
Yeah.
move sucks, so.
Yeah, that's why you're using Duncan's sheet, not yours.
Oh, do I need to use Duncan? Obviously.
you would much rather use Duncan's sheet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
To be clear, he's not taking orders from you. He's following Zoshir's instructions. So
Well,
otherwise, it might be like, oh yeah, roll on your sheet or whatever.
All right, power.
Duncan's sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Distance running. Okay. Because we're gonna do duty.
Okay.
I give all for those who I sworn to protect. Definitely
Okay.
matters here.
That's not enough.
One success.
Okay, so you can take a point of threat and roll an additional die. Or if he can spend a point of determination, in which case he will get 2 successes additionally, and that'll mean he gets 3, and you'll gain a momentum. But then he'll be out of determination.
Okay. So I didn't succeed on that one.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna pay a threat. Why the hell not?
Okay, so go ahead and roll an additional d20, and what you want to roll is 14 or less.
Yep. 1. So
Oh,
2.
1. That's, hey, all right, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Duncan is in like Flynn. He remembers this climb, and thanks to the Dwali, he knows the secret way in, which will take him to wherever, to the bottom areas of the facility. So he's successfully entered the facility. He's gone from the map. He's not able to help aid any other unit when it comes to combat. They haven't noticed you yet, of course, so now the others can go as well. Tiberius, Amira, and the Udwali, in turn, would have to make a similar move check to be able to get in, to successfully infiltrate the facility.
Okay.
Yes, I can roll for my Idwali.
Okay.
Would that just be 2d20?
It's gonna use the same stats as the Warden.
Okay.
So if you see that on the journal, just you look that up and then just roll appropriately, and that'll be it.
Should I roll for my Dwali as well in this moment?
Yuri Dwali.
Oh, that's right. No, they're betraying. They're betraying. Never mind.
Yeah, the one Daphne's Dwali is number 2, which means they would be probably attacking, not moving to infiltrate. If we're just focusing on infiltration, then it would be Aaron's Dwali number 1.
Then I will win.
Okay.
Chrome is frozen for me again, so I pulled out meat space dice.
Okay.
Oh god. It's an 8 and a 16.
Okay, so
No, Tiberius!
Sheer has okay.
Oh, that wasn't
Sheer
for
would go good.
Zoshir, that was for infiltration.
Tiberius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Second, I rolled it ahead of you. So 16's bad, because you want
I
to roll
mean,
13 or less.
I'll take your roll instead.
I don't know if you
No,
want
he
to.
rolled a
Remember,
No,
we're following
because-
here.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay, never mind.
You rolled a 16 and a what?
So Zoshir, we
And
can't
an 8.
we can't have Pardo and Tiberius die in the same session. We can't have that.
Which
It
Tiberius?
would be poetic though.
That's true.
The real one.
The original OG.
But Pardo is Tiberius.
Instead of Tiberi, yes. Tiberi, no.
You could you said you rolled 16, and what was the other number?
8.
8 is a success. That's exactly what I rolled. What the fuck? Wow. Okay. You could potentially spend some additional momentum. You can spend one momentum, roll additional die, or take another threat, roll another die. This is duty, so he could spend the one determination he has to get 2 successes.
I think it's worth it at this point to do.
Remember you said that. Okay. So you get 3 successes, and you needed 2, which means you get momentum. And Tiberius successfully infiltrates the facility. So now he disappears.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. Alright. Okay. Alright, Amira and Idwali number 1. They will be trying to infiltrate the facility. I will actually the Idwali know this place inside and out, so instead of like needing 2 successes, you only need 1.
Okay. Just from a mirror side then?
This is just the Idwali unit.
Okay,
Amira
okay.
Will still need 2.
All right, I'll different roll for a mirror. Okay, I'll do the Adwali first then.
Just 1 die.
I assume. Oh, it's only 1 die. Okay.
But you can use the Fremen Warden one, and where it says move 6 worm riding, ignore that. Just when I ask you for the focus, say yes. They have a focus in it.
Okay.
And they can sync it to truth because it's their highest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. 1 die. Focus yes.
Okay, there it is. Wow. All right, so they're in, and you get a free point of initiative, momentum. Excuse me. Okay, momentum. Wow, you're filling up. Okay, now it's Mira's turn.
Okay, glad
you
we
have
have
plenty
that.
of momentum. If you want to spend some additional dice.
Well, I'm actually pretty confident in Amira. Her move 7, which with the focus in stealth, and I'm torn here. I think power. Death determines who rules.
Okay, yeah. Very good.
2 dice. Is it 1 or 2? Sorry.
For Amira, it's 2. Named characters always roll 2
cool.
dice. Yeah.
Cool. And using focus, very yes.
Yeah. Oh boy.
We have some momentum, don't we?
We do.
I'd like to use some of that, please.
Sure.
Just the one. Just the one. I think.
Right. Sounds good.
There we go.
That's much better, and it's double, so that's 3 successes.
That's 3. Nice.
With a complication. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Actually, you get. Yeah, you get it back. Right. And the complications are mounting up. That's great. Okay.
Right. So real quick, now that has the assault begun proper?
No, because Zoshir said that the infiltrators will go first, and then the assault will begin.
Okay.
1 second. I do think Tiberius has a specific talent here that applies. Let me double check. Tiberius should be visible to everybody. There we go. I could be wrong. Yes, I am incorrect. All players can now see and control. And his talents... no. He has Make Haste, Passive Scrutiny, Rapid Recovery, and Dual Loyalties. Okay, so the infiltration team is in. Now I need the rest of you guys to go here. So Leo, this is the part of the game where it's architect play. That means you yourself as a character is not involved currently. Unless Archibald is on the field, he's not going to be active. The only time he is, or his stats are active, is when he's directly giving orders to the Varangian Guard. If you tell the Varangian Guard, hey, do this, they roll off of your battle instead of theirs if it's greater,
Okay,
that's how this works. Right.
Okay,
so you are safe. You're not even there, but you're issuing orders to your troops on the ground level too, so they can do their thing.
Got you. Okay. What troops do I have? Just that one Fremen thing, or?
the ones that you claimed earlier. So, like, if you wanted Duncan, Idaho, you've got Duncan, Idaho. So when it comes time to go into the facility and fight the Arconan forces in there and sneak around, you can control Duncan, Idaho, and you can make rolls for him on his character.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Okay, I didn't understand that.
No problem. So now we're gonna go right into the battle portion. You have these other outlying areas, the second, first outpost, the command centers. They're way down in terms of altitude, as opposed to Observation Mountain, where the infiltration team's going in. Who opens up first? Is it Zoshir's group, or is it Hurdy's group, or Chinese group? Who initiates the attack on the Harkonnen?
I feel like Shawnee would hang back until the communications towers are taken out.
Yeah, definitely
call,
communications first
All right.
and foremost.
So yeah,
After
in order
the
for you to take
sneak.
that, you would have to dispose of those 2 units. So now that you're occupying the same zone as those units, if Zoshir wants to go first, he would initiate an attack between his unit and theirs, with the difficulty being driven up by 1. In this particular case, you're going to need to beat a difficulty of 2, because by default they get +1.
Okay. And that's a battle?
Battle, right?
Alright, I'm gonna do that.
If you do not succeed, you will take damage to your battle as attrition. That's slightly different from the rules. I'm trying to simplify it a little bit.
Okay.
And yeah, it makes it more deadly, ultimately, too, for minion units that are no-name NPCs, which die in 1 hit. So keep that in mind.
Sorry, ignore the thing. Accidentally clicked the thing.
Oh, good thing. That's all right.
Can I use subtle step with... Oh, no, that's move test. Okay, never mind. Battle. All for the good of the siege and my duty.
Mm-hmm.
2 dice. Do we have any momentum?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, Rachel, that's exactly how.
You can get 5 momentum out of a possible 6, so you can spend any number of it you want to add additional dice to your 2. 1 for 1, 2 for 3.
I'm gonna do 1 for 1, if that's okay
Okay.
with everybody.
Go for it. Roll your battle.
I've got a focus of short blades. Does that count?
Applies.
Okay.
And what's
This
your
is the
Chris
time.
Knife Mastery thing do again?
That's...
They get a momentum regardless, I think, if they succeed or fail, something like that.
Oh, so I mean, it was a freebie to use the 3rd die.
Thanks.
Here, I'll...
I'll double check it, but yeah.
I'll click it so y'all can see what it do.
First Knife Master, yeah. When making an attack during a skirmish or a duel, this doesn't apply here. When using a Chris Knife, you may automatically generate 1 free point of momentum. That's very good, but this is warfare. This is not the same.
Alright.
That's because it with skirmish and duel, it's individualized combat. This is like chaos, like you're running in, like.
Anarchy! Here we go.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no!
You got a complication.
Can
Okay,
I
so that
can I
yes.
eliminate that complication with my determination point?
That would give you 5 successes.
That would give you a lot of successes. You'll be full of momentum, but you also lose your determination.
Yeah,
Are you sure you want to do that?
I'll
Yeah, you
save
got
it, I
you got 3
suppose.
successes. You're pretty good.
You could also buy it off of me by bribing me with 2 threat, which I totally will not use against you and your friends.
I feel the complication
no, sir.
is less painful than threat.
I'll be like, Avril, why you gotta make things so complicated, but keep it anyway.
What would be a complication in your group engaging with this Harkonnen unit? So you guys manage to climb up in the dead of night, and the Harkonnens don't see you, and it's like that scene where they don't see you, and you drop down on top of them, like, you just slit in their throats, and you're killing them, and you're moving in. You absolutely take out that unit, no problem. But as a result, as a complication to what you're doing, you give yourself away, and immediately, as soon as the other unit makes notice that they're being attacked, they sound the alarm, and they immediately call for reinforcements, which means this area here is now being activated, the second outpost, because they have instantaneous communication with them. So like, hey, we have Fremen here, we're under attack. That's the complication. However, you did get 3 successes, which means you get your momentum back. So that's the silver lining in this particular miniature story. And let's see. Now the Harkonnens have officially joined the battle. So now they're going to ping pong off of you, as typically this would happen. The first thing that occurs now is their unit gets to go. They will. You're already in their backyard, so no problem. They're just going to go ahead and attack your Fremen unit. In which case, let's see. Go ahead and roll for the Fremen unit by selecting the Fremen Warden under Siege Hagaharg, Ambrose, and roll their battle to set up their defense. The Harkonnens are dealing 2 direct damage to them. You would roll 1 die, and when it asks for a focus, you say yes.
Okay.
And they would choose truth.
They would choose truth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1 die. Focus yes. Yeah.
They got a success. Okay.
Woohoo.
So they deal a they both they succeed. They defend themselves successfully against the Harkonnen. However, because of the strength number, they take each other out. So both this Harkonnen unit and that Fremen unit kill each other as a result. So they both get knocked out. And you're like, wow, these Fremen are fighting pretty good. These Harkonnen units are fighting pretty good for Harkonnen. You gain control of that area, and you're able to shut down communications for right now. As part of your action, next we're gonna have the. Well, you can pay 2 momentum to keep the initiative. Have someone else go on your turn.
That sounds worth it. What do y'all think?
Or you give it back to the Harkonnens. Depends how you want to do it.
Yeah, use the momentum and take out the second communication tower.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
momentum in this case, but
I would say so.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I was gonna ask, now that the assault has begun proper, can Eloise do her thing? Without
what
momentum.
Is it that she wanted to do?
Well, she planned to like kill the satellites for a briefest moment, like have a yeah. So the second, great, okay, do as you will, everyone.
Excellent. All right, so now that you've kept the initiative, Zoshir, who goes next on your side? You get to choose.
Nelia.
Nelia, good choice. Okay, so we got Nelia over here. She's already in the zone with the other Harkonnens. She can attack any one of them, unless you want them to take a different action. Go ahead and roll for Nelia. Nelia, I think, is going to be available.
Got it. Yeah.
Yes, and she has a specialty in short blades. She's quite good at this. She rolls 2 dice.
What drive?
And you can always roll additional if you want to.
What drive would that be for her?
The only one that makes sense. She's following you.
Duty?
Yeah, that sounds good. 2 dice. Focus yes. Oh boy. That's,
all right, so that's 1 success. Not enough to defeat that Harkonnen unit. So you could spend a point of momentum and roll an additional die and see if you can get a 12 or lower.
Is everyone good with that?
Do it.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Oh no.
Not enough. So Nelia takes attrition damage, which means it's the difference. So if she got 1, they defend for 2, so they take 1 damage. So instead of 5, they have 4 now. Actually no, that would be 3. That would be 3.
Dre
So
just
she
gave
takes
benevolence.
wounded. Oh, so you can re-roll it if you like.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Thank you, Drea.
A 10.
That's
That
better.
is a success.
That's much better.
There you go.
Drea,
That
you
is much
saved
better.
Melia.
Yeah, because another 1 or 2 more hits like that, she would have been done. So her unit encounters some ferocious resistance, but she does manage to take out that unit. I imagine this is like they're climbing up and they get onto the building, and just as the Harkonnens are aware that you're being attacked, they rush to their ornithopters, and right as they're getting onto the ornithopters, that's when the Fremen spring their assault, and they come up from underneath the ornithopter, they grab their legs, pull them up from under them, and just like stab them repeatedly until they die. Gurgling on their blood. Let's see. So that was one of your units. You've already kept the initiative, so you can't do it again, which means the Harkonnens get to go. This one attacks Herdy's group. So
We can't lose Herdy.
Can't lose Herdy. So you need to make a battle roll for Herdy, and she needs to beat 2 or higher.
I believe Herdy is
Not very good. Battle.
Devon's.
Herdy is me. The truth is, Herdy doesn't want to die.
Well, her
No.
truth is her highest drive, so you can pair
I
it with
know.
her battle of
If
5.
it's there, if it's there, I will see it. If their blades are coming, I will see it.
Devin, if you kill Herdy, I'll never forgive you.
All right.
Deal
Anybody? Will...
If the roll flat out fails, she'll take 4 damage, which will leave her at 1, which means the second hit and she's finished. Her and her unit are destroyed.
So since it's Herdy, anybody mind me using a momentum for 3 dice? I love how everyone's just like, go for it, go for it.
Do it,
Look,
Brock.
Herdy's
do it.
not just a cast favorite; she's a fan favorite.
Herdy doesn't
Agreed.
even have a focus in battle.
No, she does not. It's a scout. So the Harkonnens come out with Maul pistols.
Oh,
like,
come on.
Get 1 success versus the 2. So she takes attrition damage of 2 in total. So she's down from 5 to 3. Some of Herdy's troops are going down quickly as they're just
Mel,
being shot upon.
Is that for Herdy? Is that for Herdy, Mel?
It is for her and an entire unit. They share those battle hit points. Otherwise, in
Mel.
1 hit, they're dead.
Mel gave benevolence just now. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
How many can I reroll? 1 or 2?
You can reroll both of those failures if you want to.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Target number 12. 12
Yeah,
or
I'm just re-rolling it as a
Go
plain
for it.
thing. Oh, 3 successes total. Yeah, that's so much
Son
better.
of a bitch. Wow, what a complete turnaround.
Thank you,
that
Mel.
was.
You made everything better.
2 NPCs saved by the chat. The Herdy's group comes under fire from the Harkonnens, and they take cover underneath the small recesses that are jutting out from the rock. And she kind of gives the orders for some of them to kind of come around and flank, and they come out with their own Maul pistols and shoot the Harkonnens in the back. Ah! They shoot them dead, and they move right into the second. They move in and take the secondary outpost.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
It's great. Now the Harkonnens get to go. Actually, no, the Harkonnens just went. I will pay 2 momentum to keep the initiative because they're big time pissed right now.
Does that bring us up to 3?
3 what?
Momentum.
Yes, it does. Good observation. Sorry, a million things happening at once here.
No worries. I'm trying to check.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the Harkonnens gonna keep the initiative. Now the command center is just becoming aware that something's going on, so they dispatch ornithopters to swoop in and attack directly from the command center. So what you see is one of these guys right here, and they're gonna try to do a run coming from the command center. They see that they probably don't see you guys right on top of them. they only know that the 2 outposts are under assault. So they go to the nearest one and they try to make a run. I'm gonna roll 1d20 here. Yeah, we're just one more d20.
Are these
That's a
Cheshire
success.
ornithopters? Because sometimes they just do that.
No, these are not Cheshire ornithopters. The Arconans know better. Let's see. Okay. So to keep things simple, this is just a 2 attack. So the Fremen, whoever's controlling Fremen number 1, I think that's you, Ambrose. You can roll for them using the Warden character sheet. Basically, you just need to roll battle and get 2 successes. No pressure. You're rolling 1 die.
No pressure.
Would you like to spend some momentum to make it 2 dice? Otherwise, they're gonna get mincemeat. By the
Yes, please, and thank
2
you.
dice it is.
And Chrome has frozen for me yet again.
No focus. No focus for. Oh shit! I'll roll for you. Don't worry.
Well, I've got my physical dice.
Ah, very good. Okay, go ahead and roll, and I'll tell you if you got it.
Odd duck dice be the best.
Yes. Odd duck.
Oh.
What'd you get? That sounds good.
2.
What? Okay, so
4
wow.
successes.
That's 3 successes because they don't have a focus, but that's
thank
better
fuck.
than what you were looking at. Okay, so the Fremen are on point. When the Ornithopter flies in and tries to do a run, and they move 2, so they go 1 and then 2 over here. The Fremen immediately like hug the ground and they disappear. So the pilot's just like, where the hell did they go? And they're like just shooting randomly, not hitting anything. You get that momentum back. That was such a good roll.
I feel like there's static crawling along my skin. I'm so excited.
You did good. That was a really good roll. The Harkonnens kept the initiative, so now it has to go back to your team. Chani hasn't gone yet, and the Fremen are all surrounding the command center. I guess we should probably give them a turn. Otherwise, we have Stilgar, who has not gone yet as a unit.
Charge! Who put the teenager in charge?
This is no child. Let me
This
assure
is
you.
child endangerment.
No. Whoever's
You
at
can hold
the
a
end of her
knife.
Chris knife is the one who's in peril. So.
Okay. Do I use the Fremen Warden sheet?
I have Chani's stats. I don't think I put them on paper. Hold on a second. Let me double check something here. Chani. Nope, I do not have it. So I can flip through the book. Just roll 2d20. Let me know if you want a 3rd die. I have her stats here. I just didn't bother to put them up in the character sheet. I'm old.
Fuck!
That doesn't sound good.
No,
I
not at
got a
all.
5 and a 20.
A 5 and a 20.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you if you got a. Here we go. Where's Chani? Chani has 6 battle with short blades, so she has a focus, and I'm assuming she's using either Justice, Faith, or Duty for this. The Faithful will be rewarded
Probably
with
either Duty or Faith, whichever one is better.
Faith. Then the Faithful will be rewarded with Ennobling Struggle. So her target number is 14, and she has a focus, which she made. So she gets 2 successes, and she kills that Harkonnen unit, but she also gets a complication. Complications are bad here in warfare. Did you want to pay me off with 2 threat, or you want to take it on the chin?
Oh god.
Oh, hold on. So if you're attacking one of the units, it's strengthened by the other units. So it's 2, 3, 4. So you got 2 successes. You can spend momentum or spend a point of determination to meet or exceed that number.
I will spend a point of momentum, and I think I will take the threat, because the complication right now seems bad. So,
Okay.
Roll 1 more d20.
Yes. I'd roll that. 4. Another. Wow. Right underneath the focus. So now that's actually 2, 4 successes right on the money. So you take out that Harkonnen unit as Chani. Like she just leads a group of Fremen up to the command center, and the initial sentry guards that are guarding like the entryway or whatever are completely besieged by them. Like a few of them first fall by maul pistol, and as they turn around to go back in, Chani's people come in from the flanks and just shiv them and just take them down, and you're in the facility. All right, so that's 1 down, 2 to go. Did you want to keep the initiative? If so, you just have to pay 1 momentum or 1 threat.
I kind of want to pay 1 momentum to send the Idwali
Sure.
in.
Good call. Okay, so the Idwali get activated this run as well. Okay, Idwali 2 are able to make their move, and you're in control of them, so go ahead and make their roll using the Warden. This is going to be particularly tough for them, though, because this is 3 difficulty to defeat one of these Harkonnen units because they have so much help. So go ahead and... Actually, they're Fremen and they're Idwali, so lower that by 1, so you just need 2. You just need 2.
Alright,
Um,
I
momentum
assume
back.
this is a battle roll?
Yes.
Question: is the flanking bonus still on, or?
Yes, they're flanked, so 1 success only for this Idwali unit. Thank you for making that observation again.
Alright, I'm gonna give him faith.
All right.
So that's 1 die that they're rolling?
Yes.
Focus?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
You got a 17.
Spend the momentum.
You
Spend the
did
momentum.
spend 1. Yeah, did you want to spend momentum on an additional die?
Yes.
Okay, you're down to 1 momentum. Go ahead and roll.
Oh,
There
You
you go.
got it. All right, so that's 2 Harkonnens down at the command center. Excellent. So, following on the heels of Chani's success in taking out the units there, the Idwali move in right behind, and they just completely slaughter the group of Harkonnens that are caught completely unawares that they themselves are being assaulted at the command center. They don't have time to respond and fire away. The last group of them, including the commander, are barricading themselves inside the office and firing back at you. Kill them! Kill the Fremen scum! That was good. And you kept the initiative, so now it's the Harkonnens that go. They're going to try to take out that Fremen unit there, which is the least defended of the bunch. They need 2 successes to succeed. So whoever controls Jared...
Me.
Leo, go ahead and roll. Roll for the Fremen using the Warden sheet. You want 2 successes, so if you want to spend that last momentum,
Alright.
now is the time.
You said Warden sheet, right?
Yeah. Under Hagaharg.
I'd suggest to save that momentum.
Save it. All right, you can pay me threat alternately.
That's my opinion.
You said
Leo
battle
can
roll,
do
right?
whatever he likes.
It's a battle roll, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is definitely a duty thing. I'm gonna go with 6. 2 dice. No focus. Should I use it? No. I still got Duncan.
I'll give you another momentum because I made a boo boo with Chani. Chani apparently can re-roll dice when it's tied to her faith because
Oh,
talents
shit.
are awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Talents
Yeah,
are
she's
amazing.
badass.
Just sent them to me. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have 2 momentum currently, so you can spend it if you want to.
Okay, so I'll spend 1 momentum.
Go ahead and roll.
All right, so battle duty, 3 dice.
Yep.
No focus. Oh,
shit.
nothing.
That Fremen unit is dead.
Yep, that Fremen
So
unit's dead.
as the Harkonnen captain and the rest of the Harkonnens take cover, they see some of the Fremen like making their way towards the command center to try to get to them, and they're like they start using explosives and tossing them, and then like barricading themselves, and they just explosions go off. You see Fremen people and limbs flying everywhere. They just got turned into mincemeat.
Oh, you got the
Um,
wrong guy, Fremen. Sorry.
Yeah. Back to the allied team here. Who would like to go first? We've got Hurdy, Nelia, Stilgar, who hasn't gone yet. Actually, I think it would be Stilgar. So that would be
Me.
Help me out here. Yes. Yes. What would you
Alright.
like to do?
So we've taken over this entire unit. I'm thinking about it because I'm not sure whether or not.
There's an ornithopter like right over there.
Yeah.
that's potentially heading your way.
Yeah. Is there any form of weaponry that's sitting around that he could use to attack the Ornithopter?
Yes, you can
Knowing
use
that
the
he wouldn't-
Harkonnen's own weapons against them if you wish. You probably don't have a
Certainly.
focus in this, but you can roll
Yeah.
battle at a +1 difficulty to hit. So to hit an Ornithopter, you need 3 successes with Stilgar. If you think you can make it, go ahead and roll, and don't forget you have 1 momentum pending.
I would need a focus in order to hit with that because he can only do 2. That's... I'm looking at skills to make sure there's nothing I can do.
Sure.
Yeah, there's nothing he can really do then that would break it. He wouldn't even hit 3 no matter what. I mean, I have to use momentum in order to actually have the opportunity to get it. Anybody object, since it would be the last one, or save it and just maybe have him move out to another location?
So, this is Aaron's take. Save the last momentum for not NPCs. Just Aaron's take.
Sure.
We can hear from the rest of the cast. So
I would have Stilgar move and have someone with better sharpshooting try and take down the Ornithopter.
That's
yeah,
what I
you can
figured.
actually. Yeah, thank you for bringing up movement, Rachel, because you can move boldly into an adjacent zone, and you can potentially play chess with the Harkonnen Ornithopter, move them somewhere else. So basically, Stilgar will be like, "I'll draw their fire."
You can
Move,
kite
and then
it.
Move. Exactly.
Yeah, have Stilgar
Yes.
kite it.
What do you think? Should I kite down one zone or down to the right?
I think if you in the middle zone.
Yeah, because that way
Um,
more people would be able to join in.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
this
I'll
is
move.
how this scene looks like. Yeah, you get to move the Ornithopter yourself if you want to move them down
I can't.
with you like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can move them down towards you there. And basically the scene would be like Zoshir, you look over at Stilgar after the Harkonnens are dead, and you hear on the radio like, "Hey, we're sending the Ornithopter around," and like you see like they're priming their missiles to fire on the facility now that they know that they lost it, and they're gonna light the whole place up. And Stilgar's like, "I'm gonna buy you time," and he runs out, and he tries to basically lure them out to them, make them think like all the Fremen are gone.
I picture him grabbing some of the weapons and just firing blindly in the direction thereof, so that it kind of gathers their. Yeah, like,
Blue,
oh hey,
purple
look at
beams
me!
and yeah. So next turn, when the Harkonnens go, Stilgar gets to face off with an Ornithopter. No worries.
Fine.
Yeah. Now, you got to go, so now the Harkonnens go. All the other Harkonnens are gone except for including the Ornithopter. So it's back to the beginning of the round with the Allied air troops here. In which case, I think I may have missed one of the Fremen down here. You control. Did you already issue orders to Fremen 2?
Fremen 2 did not go.
Okay. So we can have Fremen 2 go, and then the Harkonnens go. Go ahead.
All right. So they only get 1 die, and I don't have a sheet for them, so I'm just gonna roll, and you can tell me if it hits or not.
Okay. Yeah, you could just use a Warden one, and that
6.
hits. Yeah, that
Yeah.
hits. Fremen Warden has a target number of 10 for battle. Actually, it's higher. It's more like 13. So you hit. That's 1 success. Did you want to spend additional or
No,
bear
I
a
think
threat?
we've already decided they're expendable.
Cool.
Nameless Fremen number 2 group.
So you deal a
served it
damage.
well.
Yeah, you deal a damage to the Harkonnens, but they're not dead yet, and they managed to take out the 1 Fremen group because 1 is not sufficient to take them out, so they take attrition damage. Let's see. Circling back around to the Ornithopter. Actually, they already went, so now it's really back to the beginning of the round, which usually will start with Zoshir. However, there is someone waiting in the wings, and that's for Archibald. Now's your moment.
Don't you dare fuck us, Archibald.
So you see the Harkonna commander gets alerted to something that's going on. It's like, hey, there's House Cheshire Ornithopters heading this way. They're gonna help us out. It's like, great. And as soon as they fly in, where do you want them to land? Where do you want them to start from, Archibald? You're muted.
You're
You're
still
muted.
muted.
Geez, I'm muted. I'm sorry. I was talking to myself.
No worries. Where do you want the Cheshire Ornithopter coming in from?
I'm debating on whether to take out the Ornithopter or...
Dogfight.
Save Stilgar.
Yeah, I guess. So actually, I'd like to make a trade. I got two things going on here. Honestly, my other plan is just not going to work right now because all of them are dead, so it really doesn't matter. But anyways,
Oh, no, they're not all dead, trust me.
They're not.
I don't like that.
okay, then I'm originally going to go with my original plan here.
Remember, Ornithopters get to move 2 zones.
So I'm going to go straight to this place right here. And if I have a radio, I'm going to be like, I'm going to secure the base, blah, 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 blah.
If you're
What
in,
does that mean?
Sorry, I have a question. If that radio's in contact with the rest of us, like Amir would immediately reply, like, "We got this." There's literally Amir, Duncan, Idaho, and a squad of a Diwali that have infiltrated now.
Okay, fine.
No,
Did you want to change your target?
Save Stilgar. Take out
Yeah.
the other
Okay,
ornithopter.
fine.
Take out the ornithopter.
Okay, so I'm still going to use... I want to buy a trait.
Okay.
Again, and that trait is I picked up those sharpshooting guns, and I'm gonna blast this bird out of the sky using those guns.
Sharpshooting guns?
The ones that Alicia had,
The ancient tech.
Oh,
ancient tech.
okay, got it. Sharpshooting guns, we'll call them. Okay.
All right.
Gauss
railguns.
rifle.
Yeah, exactly. So you have
Slug
a Gauss
throwers.
rifle, and you load it onto the Ornithopter, and you fire it off against the Ornithopter that is chasing Stilgar. Sure. Go ahead and roll battle.
Roll
With
battle.
2
Okay.
successes. Yep.
We'll go with justice because Harkonnens are assholes. Yes, focus. 2 successes.
Hold on. Are you moving into their zone, or are you shooting from outside that zone?
Whatever's gonna kill the bird. To be honest, if
You
it
need to do that because
okay.
if you're outside the zone, it's 1 difficulty higher. So
Okay.
it would be 3 actually. So yeah, you move in. You're doing this. You're doing like the snake with them, and they're like they're out trying to outmaneuver you, and they're like hitting the brakes and like trying to like come up behind you, but your Varangian guard are much better, and you kind of dive off to the side, and then you get into this like, as they're shooting at Stilgar and he's running for cover, here comes your Varangian guard and just shoots him out of the sky. Boom! Big explosion with the Gauss rifle just lighting them up in the sky. The rounds go right through the chassis of the vehicle, and it explodes in a spark of fire.
Got you.
Yeah. So let's.
Archie to save the day. There you
Archie saved the day! Yay! I'll give you an additional move if you wanted to move into an adjacent zone.
go. Probably over here.
Okay, moving right into the command center.
Sure. Yeah.
These guys are not going to stick around. They see that you guys have the advantage here, so they're going to flee into the next zone, which they, unbeknownst to them, is being infiltrated. And that's where we'll switch to the inside, where this is taking place. Okay. So we have, let's see, you guys took the secret passage.
The piecage.
So you guys see this. So Duncan. What the fuck? 1 second. Duncan.
Duncan's me.
And Amira and the Dwali and Tiberius? Tiberius.
Yes, indeed.
Also. Yes. You're all here. So, you arrived in this circular chamber that has a single dinky little ornithopter in the center. The Dwali moves to the wall and secures the little secret passage hitch that Duncan Idaho wasn't aware of, and thing slides open, and there's a long passage that leads into this darkened area, and you can see from where you're at that there are plants and things inside there, and all derelict, hasn't been used in decades. You have the element of surprise, at least for right now. How would you like to proceed? Who would like to go first in terms of moving? And did you want to move boldly, or did you want to move subtly into the facility?
So, well, no, someone else, I already went, so someone else could go.
Yeah. If no one objects.
Go ahead.
Amira is going to turn to the Yidwali that have come with her, and Duncan and Tiberius as well. Here's the plan. No one leaves here alive except us.
Tiberius nods.
Agreed. Arconan bastards.
That was so perfect, Leo. That was perfect.
All right, so Amira is going to move subtly.
Okay. That would be 2. I need to move difficulty 2 roll, please.
Sounds good. I'll use. I might still use power.
Okay.
That determines who rules. Focus, yes, because stealth still applies here, I assume.
Yep.
Great.
Absolutely.
Just 3 successes.
There you go. Okay, so you get 1 momentum. Excellent.
I think we're at 2.
Okay. So moving subtly allows you to not only move your character 1 zone, in this case to the mechanical testing garden, but you can also give somebody else an opportunity to move as well, to take a turn.
Okay.
Sorry, I muted. She doesn't know Duncan, so narratively that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
She does know Tiberius, though, so I'll give Tiberius a move.
All right. Tiberius, you're up. What do you want to do?
Well, while Chrome is working, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
There you go.
Let's see. So stealthy stealth is what we're doing, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Ooh. I don't know that his focus for duty fits. Its duty is a sharp blade.
Yes.
Huh.
Well, if you're if you're attacking, yes. Okay, no. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'll allow it. Go for it.
Okay. And that's 2 dice or 1 die?
Named characters always roll 2 dice.
Okay.
The only time they roll 1 is if they're assisting somebody else.
Here we go. Does he have focus? Yes, he does. Oh.
Okay. Success right on the money. Okay.
Oh, thank fuck.
All right. Moving. So I'm assuming you're moving along with Amira?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay, so you're moving there. Is there some other thing that you wanted to do in addition to moving? Because when you move subtly, you typically allowed to do something else, like give somebody else a turn or what have you.
Oh, give someone else a turn, yeah.
Give one of the other people a turn so you can all move into the garden and
Yeah.
just wreck
Actually-
those 2 assholes in the barracks.
Actually, I'll give you this one. You can take the Idwali #1 with you
Okay.
if you want to, as part of your move. So that'll fit already. And now I'm gonna move one of these guys down here, and another one is gonna come out the armory with las guns, and now Duncan gets to go.
So
You can just move. You don't have to make a roll necessarily, unless you want a specific effect. Like if you want to move them in a different away from you or something like that, then you can move boldly and do something similar to what they did.
I would go over here. Are we trying to be super like
So
quiet about this?
the goal is infiltration. Yes.
Got
We're-
it.
And then
we're-
slit
we're-
their throats.
Yes, we're gonna kill them one by one by one.
Got ya. Okay, so is there any way that I could see how many soldiers are in the barracks, or is that completely blind to me?
You don't know that these guys are over here. You probably know who's in the adjacent zone, however. So, like, you know there are Fremen soldiers over there where, like, it says storage vault. You know there are Harkonnen in where the barracks area, which is right next to where you're at.
Got ya.
Having scouted this out yourself previously as Duncan, like, he knows the layout pretty well.
Gotcha. Would he have memorized any soldier patrols?
State your question again, sorry.
Would he memorized any soldier patrols at all? Sound he did
Back
it.
when he initially reconnaissance this area, yes. So you know that there's a regular, guard motion for specific areas. Like you know their routine inside and out.
Got ya. Okay. All right. So Duncan would turn to everybody and say, "Well, I've memorized the patrol patterns on some of these people, and I think if we go towards the vault, it'll be a lot easier to get through. Path of least resistance."
I'll be honest, Duncan, Idaho. Amira says, I have a secondary objective. But that sounds good for now.
Okay. Then Duncan, Idaho would, I would say, go up and attack this dude if I could, or if I have enough for that. Stealthily like.
Okay. You just moved this round.
Okay.
So unless you spend a point of determination, which I don't think you have, you wouldn't be able to perform another action.
Correct.
Which
good.
means it's down to the Harkonnens now. The Harkonnens will move one. Now it's back to you. Which one of you wanted to go next?
Could we have some of the people from outside, like Chani and the Adwalis, start coming inside?
Not currently because they're in an adjacent zone.
Okay.
You actually hear like alarms going off, and you see like you hear a bunch of commotion like going towards the front entrance. So because the commander from the adjacent command area is like making his way over here, like help.
When they
Oh.
get the chance, Chani and the Adwali would like to chase the commander when that is
Oh, nice.
appropriate for
Okay.
them to move.
Sounds good. 1 second. Are you trying to enter the base through the main entrance? Because the commander is going to come in through there. Or are
Yeah.
you playing a different direction of ingress? Okay.
No, like ideally we catch him and kill him as soon as possible, so we're not gonna get precious about this. Just run and
Okay.
shoot.
Got it.
Mm.
Second. So Johnny moves in. You're now going to be engaged in battle with the Harkonnen. The Harkonnen commander, I'm gonna say, is this unit here, the one with the red dot on it. So you just moved in for right now. Borrow Dwali number 2 and name him Dwali number 1. What was your Dwali number? Your Dwali number 2.
Dwali 2.
Mine's 1. Yeah.
Got it. You take this one with you, so you're potentially overrunning the Harkonnens that are in the front entrance, where they're like seeing you, like, oh shit. Let's see. Okay. Now the Harkonnens are gonna go again because you just moved in. This one, the Lasgun team moves up to the front. Help to cut them to pieces. Now it's back to the team again. Which one of you wants to go next? Out of Amira, Duncan, Tiberius, and Dwali number 1.
So I have a before we decide, I have a question. We're all in
Yes.
contact, and also we're in this building. The alarms have gone up now, I assume.
Yes,
Okay,
but they don't know that you're there in the back.
Right, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, no need to be quiet anymore. Like, they've already been alerted. All right, cool. Whoever wants to go, I would suggest the Adwali. Like, let's send them off to do their shit.
the Dwali goes first. Okay.
As long as everyone's okay with that.
I love
Okay.
discipline.
Could I see if I could do my MacGyver thing first? Because I was gonna make a Molotov cocktail and just throw a couple of those suckers in there, burn them to death.
All right, so you don't need Molotov cocktails to kill Harkonnens. It's
Okay.
fun,
It is.
but there's this other thing called a Mala pistol that everybody has on them that you can just go, hey,
Yeah, good
and shoot
point.
them with it.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So
Now,
well,
you can stay exactly where you are, and you can fire at one of these guys over here. It's one difficulty higher than normal, though. Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna. Well,
Oh,
no. I'll
I should
let,
preface all of this by saying we're out of warfare rules, and we are now in skirmish rules. So
Okay.
regular combat
Okay.
as usual.
So I'll let Eloise go first, though.
okay, it's the Adwali then. Yeah, our sacrificial, not Fremen.
Okay, so the Adwali's gonna go first. Are they gonna fire or are they gonna move?
If they move boldly, can they also attack?
No, they can only move boldly.
Okay, let's just do Mala pistol attack then.
Sure. Who are they firing at?
The barracks, one of the barracks are Conan.
Ah, the one guarding the
Oh.
vault. Very interesting choice.
So
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I just realized the vault's directly north of us.
Yeah,
I
that's
just noticed the connection. So yes, the vault, Harkonnen, please.
Very good. Okay. 1 second. And go ahead and roll.
Okay, so battle and since I'm using Fremen Warden just uses truth across the board.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 die and focus, yes, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
So
jeez. Oh jeez. That's not good. It's probably dead.
Wow. Okay, so
Better than
you fire
doornail.
the weapon, and like these guys move much faster than you anticipated. Like you open fire on these Harkonnens, and they immediately activate their shields and start diving for cover. One of them wheels around with what seems to be the las gun and just starts like cutting through the wall at you. So the Dwali went. Now they're gonna go. They fired directly back at you. Let's see. Go ahead and roll just a d20 to see what your defense is, and I'll show you what they roll instead.
sounds good. See, this is why we sent the Adwali first, everyone.
This was a good plan.
13. I'm
13,
sure
so
that's
that would-
amazing.
It's good. Here's what you're gonna get though. 1 second. Oh, second. Yes. Two successes. That unit dies. They get cut in pieces, in two little distinct pieces with the las gun. And that's when Duncan Idaho makes a realization. When he sees the way that these Harkonnen in the vault are moving and working cohesively as a group, and he's like, these aren't Harkonnens. For just a moment, we go back to the Carthag Palace.
Yeah, I just looked at the role name there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. You sent for help, and it was never coming anyway.
Pardo was trying to get in contact with somebody from House Cheshire. Like, what? It's a trap! No, get out of there! It's not all Harkonnens. You gotta get out. You see, Pilot de Vries like, oh, did you figure it out, fellow Mentat? I'm so sorry. And you see, he's at the behest of the Baron, who has him by the throat, and he lifts him up into the air and he slams him into the wall. And he's like, let me show you what the Harkonnens do to those like you. And he manages to get free of the Baron, but just as soon as he does, Hyder de Vries drives a poisoned blade into his back. Over and over and over again. And Pardo Reed drops to the ground. He manages to get the message out to his allies in the field. There are Sardaukar there. It's a trap. And as everything is happening around him, he hears the voice of his mother calling out to him, it's okay. It's okay, let go. You're home now. And that is the end of Pardo Reed. That is the end of our episode.
I'm gonna say this quickly. What the actual fuck?
Really? Really? Really?
Really? Well, I hope everybody here and those at home enjoyed the show. We're all out of time, unfortunately, for the moment. But we shall return next week for the final episode to our epic saga of Leviathan. 20 freaking episodes of it. We will continue those adventures into the Imperium at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We should go ahead and reintroduce everybody around the table. Let them know who you are, where we can find you online, and who you played this evening. Beginning with Aaron.
Okay. Hey, it's me, Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Cricketulu. Sorry, still digesting everything right now. You next find me maybe Thursday. Me and my beloved partner Drea will be doing a stream potentially together. We'll see. And then after that, back here for this wild ass bullshit.
Don't lie, you love this bullshit.
Leo.
Hello, my name is Leo. You can find me at Leo of the Black here on Twitch, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was very confused because Jared himself didn't really know how this was working until like halfway through, and now I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have stayed there.
I knew it was gonna be confusing. That's why I sent that thing ahead of time. Like, hey, we're doing different rules, so just so
I
you know.
apologize.
No
it takes me longer sometimes. I apologize. But anyways, I played Archibald for you today, and next time you can see me is gonna be probably Friday playing this game. So.
All right. Devin.
Hello all, I'm Devin. You can find me online at Sort of Solid, and I was and am no more Mother Norma. Next time you'll be able to find me will be on Monday for Dragon Age.
Excellent. Ambrose.
Hi, I'm Sad, and you can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling and on Etsy at Thornkind. You can find me playing again Monday for Dragon Age.
So sad. It's okay. I got my Varangian guard. We can take him.
You can take
It
him.
doesn't replace Pardo.
Nothing will replace Pardo. Let me just tell you.
Well, I mean,
Rachel.
maybe the Ixian
Hey.
probe.
Sad. I can make other players here a lot sadder. This whole plan, Archibald paying off the Tlilax, Eloise getting the spice she needs to stave off her addiction, all relied on the Emperor not knowing the spice was here.
Mhm.
If the Sardaukar are
Surprise.
here, he knows. We're
Yep.
all fucked.
That's fine. We can kill the Sardaukar. We can kill the Emperor. We can kill the guild. Let's kill all of them. Everyone dies.
You know, I'm just gonna say my contingency plan, I didn't even tell Eric this, but my contingency plan was if you killed Varys, I'm fucking off, I'm accessing Kyra's memories, and I'm gonna go seduce an Emperor. Fuck everybody.
Look,
Oh,
look.
shit.
Eloise is gonna be asking Daphne for those memories to find the old tech. Them old tech, baby.
Oh,
yeah, that's what
fuck.
it's at.
Archie's
Oh,
already
fuck.
there.
Okay, hello, my name is Rachel, I am Stolen Fires. Thank you everybody for playing on this channel, thank you for our wonderful audience for watching. Yes, you'll see us next here, Monday for Dragon Age, the tabletop, and then if you enjoy Dragon Age content, I stream Dragon Age 2 on Wednesdays. Just entered Act 3, so things are about to get weird. We just started a new show called Solid Metal. It is a Battletech game using the Fate system. And there's a couple other cool games planned. I know that we're all sad to see Pardo Reed go, but he wants to start up an Unknown Armies game on this channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yes.
Yeah, other than that, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. Especially Twitter, because that's where I post the schedule. And there's a Discord. I'll post the link to the Discord in case people want to come hang out with us nerds.
Yes, sir. And I've been Eric, aka at Unknown Recluse Online. You can find me here next Friday evening for this game, for the finale. Big thanks as always to some fans for tuning in. And remember, never sit with your back to the door. Always remember your shield emitter and be careful with whom you trust. For in the game of houses, nothing is truly as it seems. Good night, everyone.